so I just put it on. I just clipped it and. I just like you at the end. You're like, you say something like, "What the fuck?" Like right at the end.
What did you say?
Okay, fine.
It's so funny.
How was this man single?
I remember one time.
Dude, what the fuck, dude? I thought he said I said it, but it's your voice. What the fuck, dude?
Like right at the end.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
But there was one time we were like, me and Eric. This is years ago. Me and Eric were in Arby's, and the girl that's like taking our order is fucking weird. Like straight up odd. Which is be weird. I'm totally down for that. But then you can like kind of tell that like she's like kind of hitting on Eric.
Oh yeah.
And then so like it's just watching it like we stood there for like 15 minutes ordering food. Cause like they couldn't like figure out how to like interact with one another. And it was one of the funniest things ever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shit was hilarious. But let's see, there's some shit around here. I don't like how the fucking watch thing is even more broken for the number of viewers than it was before.
Mine never moves.
No.
Huh.
Mine never moves up to zero by the comments. So.
Sometimes this one's okay, and other times it's not at all. So I don't care about the number anymore.
Yeah.
We're podcasting and eating. Is that what's on our podcast right now? Just the sound
Yeah.
of you guys eating?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Perfect.
And that's the benefit of a podcast. You kind of do anything you want.
Yeah. Outside of...
Some of our best content has been around putting food in your mouth.
you were just going to say things.
Yeah, I was.
You were. And you caught yourself. Good call. That's something I would have set myself up with. This podcast is mainly about putting things in mouths.
It's a different channel.
Just when you kind of learn to like not get roasted.
Just be careful what you say.
Just
Yeah.
You gotta
Speak
be careful
wisely.
who you're around.
Weird. It's just like the story of Bacon when he was talking about something. And he's like, yeah, like when I was a fucking when I was fucking a baby and my mom was around. And Wingate went to town on that shit. Wait, you were fucking a baby? And your mom was there? Yeah, Wingate used to fucking make fun of Bacon for like
Bacon would set himself up with that because as he would talk, he wouldn't dictate like a comma between what he was saying. Yes. Oh, I love that. I know we'd sit there and look at him like
all the time.
Did you just say what I think you just said? Or...
It's amazing that he's like where he's at in the corporate ladder. So with the shit that he says.
Oh, I love my friends.
Right. He'll like play games with me when we'll be streaming. And he'll say some outrageous shit, but as soon as I say like, well, I'm like, I'm fucking getting high or whatever, just like, just as a fucking like term. And he'll be like, can't say that. I'm like, you just told that guy to suck your dick and eat your asshole. You getting high does not matter in this situation.
I think that's cloud 9. You can go up from there.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't really matter what you say, like, as long as you're not like saying like super derogatory shit, but I don't know, saying suck my dick is like also like one of those like derogatory things that you can get fucking canned for these days. So.
Yeah, everything's being canceled. Old classic shows are being canceled.
Well, I mean, there is a reason for it, but
we've been watching some old movies.
We also look at it like a different way too. We don't look at it as like a derogatory thing, and that's where the difference resides. Whereas like the terminology, like saying like FAG is like totally like bad terminology. Like don't do that. But like when we were kids, like in the '90s, like in the early 2000s, like we weren't doing it because you were homosexual.
No, because
we didn't give a fuck.
We thought it was one funny because it's just a funny word to say, and then two, it was also like
we didn't even know that it really meant that it was fucking.
I thought that it was a cigarette after because reading Clockwork Orange, that's what I thought, like.
Yeah, we didn't even really look at it as like a derogatory term.
No, until somebody said something, and we're like, oh.
You're like, oh.
Sorry.
Well, and you're like, and the reality is, I never gave a shit about that anyways. Mm-hmm. But I understand it, but like my favorite part about that is like, one of the gayest people that I know, he uses that word fucking outrageously, does not care. Mm-hmm. Like, and when it comes like to suck my dick, more women say that than men do these days. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I've said it a couple times today.
More women have dicks than men now these days.
That's actually also true. So much truth today.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. We use those words as like a fucking, it's not that you're homosexual. I mean, some people do. I'm not saying that it's not said that way, but I've never said it that way. I don't give a fuck. It's like going over to C-Dub and be like, gay! Like, he does it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, pretty man. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. People put too much power to those words.
I think people put too much power to words in general, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. My favorite word, I can't say.
Yeah, you definitely can't say it. Definitely not online either.
No. I used to, everywhere.
I don't know how you didn't get into more fights as it was. You would just say it. You would say it like people. You would say it blatantly, but it would sound like you were saying it behind somebody's back. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like towards them. You're just saying the word, and you're like, "Yo, dog."
That's not what I said.
Well, I want to try this orange mimosa.
Oh damn! Give me one of those.
Nah, not right now.
Huh?
No, well, yeah, bring it over.
No, I don't.
Well, I was like, no, I'll get up in 15 minutes and go grab one. I might as well just bring it over. Because I'm not gonna open it right this second.
I don't know what these are, so we're gonna.
I feel like I've been drinking all day, and so I'm like,
I'll hold that.
I don't need to wait a minute.
A mimosa sour.
Fancy. How sour?
Domingo.
I don't know. I've never had it.
Okay.
It's brand new.
From New Belgium. It's a sour ale with calamansi fruit.
How does that make it a mimosa?
What the fuck's a calamansi?
I don't really know, to be perfectly honest.
I don't know. Shotgun it. Find out.
That's not a sour beer thing.
I remember years ago, we were doing shop parties. We bought a fucking keg of Easy Street for beer pong, and that was a mistake.
Oh, I bet.
Just you're just so full. And you're just chugging straight up, it's out of the keg, so it's mixed up a little bit, but it's not like it likes to settle in the beer, the beer pong cups.
Mm-hmm. So that's dangerous. Oh man.
It's a hybrid citrus fruit.
A hybrid citrus fruit?
Kind
so
of like
it's
a
half
lemon.
fruit and half
Prius, yeah.
That's what I was going for.
It's called the also known as the Philippine lime or the Philippine lemon.
Okay.
I'm unsure.
So it looks like an orange, but
tastes like a grapefruit.
It can also look like a lime.
I was wondering.
It's very popular in Indonesian and Malaysian cuisine.
I mean, it could be fighting the wings right now, which is kind of where it's at.
Fighting the who?
The wings.
Yeah. It's a valid point, I guess.
It has I don't know.
Hola.
Holy shit.
Hola.
Let me change.
Hello, volume.
Yeah, I was unprepared for that.
He wasn't ready.
That's like hearing the voice of God over your shoulder, like, don't do that.
Yeah, because God's going to be the one to come over your shoulder and be like, Hola.
His name is Jesus, okay?
He's Jesus. He was a gardener. Leave him alone.
Just clean my pool last summer.
It's Spanish, not Arabic. It's like the Mexican fucking Mormonism.
Is that a big...
Well, the Mormons, they think that Jesus was here.
Oh, right, in America.
Yeah. They don't think...
Oh, yeah, right.
So, like, it was like if it was like in Mexico where he's speaking Spanish instead of English.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Piece it together a little bit. Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm here. I am now here.
He was a man. He had a beard.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
I love Talladega Nights. That movie makes me laugh every time.
Dear sweet baby Jesus.
I just did this the other day.
Sweet, beautiful black baby Jesus.
I talk about
6
fucking
pounds, 7 ounces.
the single ploop thing all the time.
I'll come at you like Spider Monkey.
I'm Jacket Ball Mountain Dew!
His face as he's talking.
Come out, Jack Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite. If I'm ever having like a time where I'm just miserable, it's the first movie that goes on.
Yes.
Dude, this thing was on by like 2 hooks.
It like will stay in there anyway.
They were, I mean, no, if you unhook them all.
I don't know.
I mean, not.
I mean, okay, now
It's your microphone. It hasn't moved since you talked. Oh, I guess Wingate was here last
Yeah,
week.
bitch.
Oh, all right, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Oh my god. How was last weekend?
I had COVID.
Oh my gosh, you did.
I still have it.
Oh my gosh.
No, my mom got it.
Oh my gosh, is she okay?
She died.
Don't fuck with me. Dick.
Not.
Are you kidding me? Please be kidding me.
I am.
Oh my god.
She's fine. Who punches somebody in the armpit, bro?
Me!
You missed my entire shoulder and just got me right in the armpit.
Great shame.
No, she's fine. She had a cough and she felt like shit.
Okay.
Stuff tasted like crap. Like it's typical, but
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, but
Either
you saw
way.
her after the first fucking test that she took. That's why he wasn't here last week.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
She got tested for it, knowing that she might have it. And invited us over for dinner. So luckily we don't have it. My grandpa didn't get it. Like nobody got it besides her. She didn't give it to anybody.
That's amazing. Good.
But yeah.
Yeah. Alright,
That's
cool.
why I wasn't here last week, just because
Are you eating giant sticks of cheese?
I'm fucking talking, Tyler.
Definitely not cheese. They're carrots, but alright.
Yeah, we just got Velveeta and sliced it up.
I'm just gonna shit all over my house for fucking 2 days.
Velveeta's
It's
not
fine.
really cheese though.
It is. Trust me.
According to my bells.
I honestly, when the Velveeta first came out, it wasn't that they made it more cheese. Because it was cheaper than actually making, like, fucking vegetable cheese.
Yeah, 'cause it's not cheese.
Yeah. It was actually cheaper to make Velveeta more cheese than
It's
it
a
was cheese
substitute
product.
for like if you run
Glad
out
to
of.
see you guys. I'm a man of habit, and last week wasn't the same without you two.
Last weed?
Last week.
Try a new weed.
Yes. It wasn't the same. Well, I'm glad we're back too. Perfect.
Yeah, it was just dick and then
Too
that.
much trash talking Music City.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Oh, it's...
Who? What?
Wingate loves Music City. He's just...
He's just a mad
fucking
shit
with Tyler.
talker about everything.
No, it's just Tyler, like, takes things too personally.
Oh,
You're a sensitive
Tyler.
man.
You need to change the kind of underwear you wear because they clearly get in a wad too easy.
Just don't worry.
Just talking mad shit.
Just straight bitches.
Wow, yeah, that's Wingate. Fuck Wingate. Who cares?
We care, but...
Like, yeah, but like not fuck him in like the.
Yeah.
I hope you
so-
die sense. That's on the table.
I love the 2 different takes that you had on that. It's like, don't fuck him in the like ass, and then don't fuck him like he'll die. Like,
So what happens the other night?
like,
I will.
like the options that you guys had there, like, you went very different directions.
Opposite ends, actually.
Fuck that guy, he just died. Fuck that guy in the ass, I love it.
Jesus.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god, that is funny. Wow, that's
What are
funny.
you guys eating?
We had Wingstop again, bro. That's all we eat.
We just can't decide what to eat, so we just order the same shit.
Let's get that mad protein, dude, with spicy hots.
I thought you were gonna say spicy farts.
That's also a thing. Luckily, with the habanero mango, it's spicy, but it's not like burn your asshole spicy.
Jim's is like.
How was your morning after those noodles?
The noodles I had last night was fine. It was the noodles that I had the day before because I got 2 different brands. The one I had before, like, it fucked me up all day, like yesterday.
What brand did you get? Which ones did you have?
I can go get
Because the ones you heard me listening to, you know I can eat spicy shit.
Yeah. Well, you got the 2 times, like, because I got the black package, you got the 2 times brand package. It's the same brand, you just got the really spicy.
Well, I got the black and the red one. The black is perfect.
Yeah, well, that's one that I
The
had
black
last
is
night.
delicious.
It's super good.
Perfect amount of heat, tastes great. The red,
Yeah, that's the one that I ate last night was that one.
TM whiskey.
some
Ooh.
Kirkland whiskey, dude. You fancy motherfucker.
Better be drinking with your pinky out.
Jim's is like walking distance. Jim's is also garbage.
I actually like Jim's, but their sauces have way too much butter in them for me, so I can only eat them like sparingly. Otherwise, I'm also having a rough day.
Well,
Whereas these ones, like if I eat like a lot of them, I can get like fucked up. Like if I ate like 30 of them like in a day, but like if I have like 7 or 8 of them, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I like crispy wings.
Yeah, you get an extra roll done. That's all you gotta do.
Bye.
Actually, the best wings in town are from Mojo's.
Good night, sweetie.
Period.
They're not bad.
They're my favorite ones, for sure. Don't get spicy though.
Where?
Is that Mojo's, Tyler? Actually, my favorite wings are no Walker, so.
Oh, yeah.
Shua type ever made the best wings.
Good night, sweetie.
Obviously, that's not a thing anymore.
What's that thing?
Chew used to make the best wings, like, period.
I don't know them. Should we?
She used to own Type Pepper.
Oh,
Tiana?
oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
I'm like, oh yes, I do know her.
She made the best wings, period. I think I'm a close second. I make pretty good wings.
Kind of garbage. The last time we had them?
No, the last time we had them, they were really good.
Not really.
Like 2 years ago?
Oh, bye. Dorothy's new thing is just hanging up on people.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Fuck.
off. It's hilarious.
It's like we'll play phones and it lasts 3 seconds because she puts it like something up to her ear. Hello? So I pick something up. I'm like, hello, is this Dorothy? And she's like, bye. Like presses whatever she's holding and then throws it on the floor and walks away. That's it.
She's gonna be a
Or she'll
sad-
just call
she's-
you many times in a row and just keep hanging up on you.
She's gonna be a savage later in life.
So she was doing that. I was like, whatever, I'm not talking to you anymore. You're mean. And I threw the phone. And then like 5 minutes go by, I'm doing whatever. She comes back and gives it to me. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, hello? Bye! And just runs around the corner. I was like, dude, fuck you.
Right? Fuck kids sometimes, man. They're little assholes.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. They're little assholes sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
I had one kiddo who had a week of telling me, okay, fine.
It's not bad. It's just weird.
It tastes like the other beer I didn't like very much. The one that Avery kind of liked.
The Miral?
Yeah.
You didn't like that one at all. I forgot about that. I like that beer.
Yeah, it reminds me of that one, but this one's a little stronger flavor-wise to me.
So it should be worse?
It's better flavor.
I was like, stronger or worse?
No. That nice exotic fruit.
The other one's like the Gatorade version.
Never had a mimosa with calamansi juice, but not bad.
I've never had a mimosa beer. That's why I was like.
You never had a beer mimosa?
I've had a beer mimosa. I've just never had a mimosa style beer.
Something.
No, a beer mimosa is when you make beer.
Right.
With orange juice.
That's.
But this is supposed to. This tastes more like it has champagne in it.
No. Not to part of what you said, but to the first part of what you said.
What?
There's just a grammatical error. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's different. I don't think I'll buy it again.
No, I wouldn't.
But it's not bad.
But I'll drink it.
Yeah. So if you don't want to open that one, I have. What else did I get? I got another.
We got some mics over there. I got some
I got
fucking.
another 6-pack of something that I haven't had before.
You got that? No, what?
Remember?
You got that, and we got Rolling Rock, and I got Mai Tais, and you got. Oh, you got the wait, no, I got this. Hold on, it was the Grimm Brothers.
Yes, from Grimm Brothers.
Hold on, I gotta know, because I can see, it was the Griffin. Is it their blood orange?
Yeah, blood orange,
something?
Kolsch.
Because there was the
Or
other
the
one.
Hefeweizen, the blood orange Hefeweizen.
That's what it was, blood orange hef, because we were looking at the, that dude abides. Or whatever.
Yeah, their copyright infringement beer.
It's what was it?
It literally had like the picture of like the dude from like what was the fucking I can't even remember the goddamn movie.
The Great Lebowski or something.
Yeah, there you go, the Big Lebowski. Thank you for like.
It says this dude abides is the name of the beer, and it was a White Russian stout. So we didn't get it. Look at these.
Just the
pause. Like that freaking TikTok I showed you guys.
Which one?
The one.
Oh yeah. That was a while back now. Just hold your cheeks open.
Hold your cheeks open. Oh my gosh.
I still haven't scienced that one out yet.
Have you tried it?
No, I just said I didn't. Haven't yet. Probably because I'll forget by the next time I have to fart.
See if it works. Let me know.
I'll let you know next week if I remember. If not, I'll have to just wait till I have a fart here.
Yeah.
And I'll go into a private room and do science.
You're gonna go into a private room and do science. BRB.
So next week, by the way, before I forget to tell you, next week, Sharpie's coming in next week. Yeah. So.
Oh. I miss him.
Well, he'll be here next Friday.
Okay. That's gonna be wonderful.
I won't
It's gonna
be.
super fun.
Me and him don't get along very well.
Guys has never met
We've
him.
never met. But...
Well?
You know what's funny is I actually don't know if I've ever met anybody that doesn't like Sharpie.
Anybody who's intimidated by him,
Until
or
next
people
Friday,
that don't
right?
like him. People I mean, we all have that. We come from a community of people that had very individual and an inclusive environment, kind of friendship. Everybody's very different. Everybody
Right.
kind of got along because we had a playing field that we're all on the same page. But people who struggle with themselves find people in friend groups like ours extremely
That's
intimidating.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't hang. They just can't hang. Some people are just so fucked up that they just can't deal with people that are not as fucked up. It's just the way it is.
That's fair.
Fuck those
Yeah, I
people
don't.
then.
I mean, I agree with that. I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like him. But it's kind of the same thing where I can't think of somebody that doesn't like me either. So it maybe whoever's not liking something, I'm like, see you later, just out of here. See, maybe this is that, but I don't know. But yeah, so he'll be here next week. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that kid.
Yeah, like because Wingate was like
kind of talking shit, and then Kate like posted like a video on Instagram. He saw it. He texted me Saturday morning. It was all so like that was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, so like we talked about you coming up already and hanging out, so he should be here.
Oh my god, I'd love to see him.
You know whose commentary I kind of miss, even though it was unfortunate how it happened.
Oh, Friedman. Yeah. Well, that's his own thing. I tell somebody to stop fucking poking and prodding at me, and then I yell at you because you're pissing me off. Like,
yeah.
Also been drinking for fucking 20 hours. Like, don't make me mad. Like, you
Well,
can't yell that.
We're all drinking in the fucking sun. Well, I guess in the ash rain.
Yeah. It was a little fiery.
In the red sun.
But
we're sitting in the front yard at like 3 o'clock and we just start opening ashed on. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's a thing where he like dislikes me. He just doesn't want to be part of it anymore, just because he can't.
Right.
He can't dictate what it is.
It'd be stupid for that whole thing to ruin a complete friendship, but
right.
He just doesn't participate in this anymore because he was just giving unwanted advice.
Right. I mean, the advice that he was giving, which other people have given me before too.
I think it was just like you specifically didn't want to talk about it at that time. It would be good advice at a different time.
Right. Other than the fact
that if I wanted to talk to you about the same thing, one, I wouldn't do it in front of everybody.
Right. You don't want to like talk business in front of like all the peeps.
Right.
I mean, my biggest problem with that one is more of the. And don't get me wrong, this works when you have like a larger audience to see where you want your like shit to go. If you want it to like go somewhere, where he was like, ask your audience what you want to do. Well, when your audience is like 10 people, and then like your majority of the comments that's going to come through.
Most of our audience has been on this couch.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of one of those things. And as we, progress forward, it takes years to get to the point of like it's beyond your friend group. Right. And that's just, what it is, especially in like today's society, unless you like, the right person sees your shit and then you just fucking rip off. And that's kind of how this is going to work anyways. Like we're just going to keep doing it for us because it's fun and we like doing it. And then try to do it the best we can to get those.
Plus, like when we get to that point where we have a major following and we have to do something like that, fine.
Then yeah. And
then, right now, we're still building the following.
And at that point, I will ask for the advice that I need to move forward.
Right, and that's if you want.
And that's not. I'm not there yet.
If you want to pull a direction with your audience now, and that the big thing is this specific podcast is never going to be that.
No.
Ever. It's never, ever going to be that.
Right.
I want to do a couple other ones if we start like getting to a point where we can do other ones. And those ones can be specific scenarios where, hey, let's get like the audience more involved, or I want to do a specific topic, or if you guys wanted to do ones that were separate from like me and that kind of shit, we're like, that's where like the direction I like to go. That's what I want. But this one will never be that. And the point is so many people don't understand that, where I'm like, I appreciate you like wanting to be a part of it, this kind of shit, but you will never direct it in any way, shape, or form. And that's kind of like
your personality.
Yes, for one, that's what it is. But like that's what this one is for us to have fun with, and like
no holds bars, no agenda, no nothing. We're just hanging out, shooting the shit.
No script, no topics, no.
And to say that doesn't work is also bullshit too, because one of the largest podcasts on the planet, the Joe Rogan Experience, was started with him and his friends just getting fucked up on fucking stream talking a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're fucking doing. We're just laughing, talking real shit sometimes, bullshit the other times where it's, dick jokes, part jokes, other times, intellectual bullshit. But that's literally the biggest podcast outside of like Howard Stern. Because Howard Stern, even though that's, was a radio show, it's
still the same thing.
It's been kind of a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. So like, outside of like those like super, huge ones that were, over the airways, all that shit for, decades. Outside of those big ones, Joe Rogan created something out of nothing at a time when he didn't really have an audience outside of like
outside of like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
And
so,
stuff.
And that's one of those things, like, those guys weren't looking to, like, who cared about Joe Rogan when he was, as far as, like, his announcing? Like, he's an entertaining announcer, but, like, when you see, like, hear an entertaining announcer, you don't give a shit about their life or whatever. He just happened to continue doing it because his friends and him are funny, and that's just what it is. And now he sold his shit for, what, $170 million last year to Spotify. Like, and you're saying what we're doing here won't work, but it's already been proven to work.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. I get it.
So it's one of those moments where I was like, this one, and that was like my whole thing with him and other people.
It's not what this podcast is about.
I've yelled at several people over the situation where they just keep fucking poking my buttons. Where I'm like, this one's not it. Sorry, guys. Start if you want to start one, I'll help you. I'll tell you some, some hints and tricks or whatever. I don't got much because we, just sit here and get drunk and fucking yell into a microphone. But but it's one of those things like it's our shit to hang out and do whatever. And I think it's funny. That's why we're putting on the fucking shit.
Hell yeah.
And that was the whole problem. It's not that I don't need to be told what to do or any of that kind of shit. You don't need to be told what to do. You don't need to with your shit, right? So it's one of those.
I need guidance. I need an adult.
That's why you're married.
Right.
You're
so yeah, it's not.
I found an adult and I married her. Fine.
Put a ring on it ASAP.
She's kind of a half adult like you are too, though. You like.
And you guys make one whole adult. We got a single parent household. Not really, but yes.
I'm married, but
it's like a parent and a quarter. Like it's like a little bit more.
Half adult sounds hard.
Half adult sounds hard.
But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like it's.
My nephew calls adults redults. And so he's questioned when he was little. He was like, when I grow up, when I'm a redult, can I do that? When I'm a redult? I wish I got to redult. I wish I could redult sometimes.
I kind of regressed over time, to be honest, a little bit, because like,
did you?
Because like, I look at like the way like all the shit that I had to take care of like as a teenager and like as a kid into my 20s, like the shop and all that, and now I'm like, I barely do my job. I don't give a flying fuck. Like, I do my job. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, I was telling him today, I was like,
he's pretty much writing an entire program that will do his job for him.
Sounds about right.
So I'm like,
which is dope as fuck.
Yeah.
10-year full-on unadulting.
Full-on unadulting. Going backwards. You're time traveling?
You spent the past 10 years shitting your pants?
I don't know Tyler that well. He might have.
So
Like I know him.
Shitting his pants?
I've known him for a few years now, but I don't.
I mean, I guess I would just never expect that from him. Seth, absolutely, because obviously.
But I think Tyler's like, he's almost my age. I think he's like 32, 33.
Same.
Yeah, the youngest guy in the room.
We're the same.
Yeah.
I just don't keep track.
I just don't keep track. Right. You keep track of dicks for that reason.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of regress to the situation where I'm like.
And calculate every 5 years.
My problem is I remember like everybody's like birthday to the date, like specifically. I'm like bam, 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 like no problem. Who do I
don't think you know mine.
The one that's like 4 days after mine, yeah.
Wrong. 3. See, you're wait. When's yours?
This is the 15th, you dipshit. Mine's the 11th. It's 4 days.
Okay, so just my math.
But that's also something that's in my brain. That's something that I tend to forget is other people like don't have the same like memory that I do. Because I'll remember like all this shit. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, I don't remember anything.
I remember certain people's birthdays. Like, but not, like most of my relatives. That's why I have a calendar. Just put it in there. It lets me know.
Yeah, I just tend to forget that, like, other people don't have the same memory that I do. So, like, all the time, I'm like, you remember this shit, right? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I remember it vividly.
Because I know yours and Seth's. And David's.
Hyler has photographic memory from decades ago.
And then, of course, my family's. That's about it.
Gosh, this is so
Hyler has...
Regular Tyler has shit potato memory.
Oh, Hyler. Okay. Nice, man.
I was like, who the fuck is Hyler?
That's
now,
a better fucking tag than whatever the fuck that is. I like that, Hyler.
Hyler's good.
Clever.
That's a good one, actually. It's probably every Tyler that gets high ever, but...
No.
Yep.
No, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, I don't. It's one thing that like makes me good at jobs. It also makes me hate job. Like having a job, just in general, is like, because I'm like, oh, I remember doing the same shit. Fucking.
WLLL is an anonymous internet handle I created when cryptocurrency started taking off.
Just put it all in that BitLocker, baby.
And I own every social asset.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Cool.
That reminds me, I need to buy like my actualnames.com.
So I did find the other day that there is another Mokatang on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some sort of Korean woman. I think that's her actual name.
Throat puncher.
That's her actual name.
Mocha first name, Tang is last name. I'm not so I was looking it up to see. I was like, did I like somehow pick a name that's already being used? I don't know.
I mean, I don't speak Korean, so it's hard to tell.
I don't speak prostitute either, so I couldn't.
Prostitute name.
Mokatang? That's like a prostitute name.
Or a stripper name.
Yeah, I can see a stripper name for sure.
I see like a stripper from Bangkok who's kind of a dude.
No, I'm thinking more like a fucking like a black girl. Yeah.
I
Or it could be your stripper name.
gotcha.
If you were a stripper, what would your name be? Real talk.
Travis. It'd still be the same. I'd have the same name.
Mokatang.
Not.
Need my stripper name? Doesn't seem sexy enough.
I mean, I don't think you're chocolate enough.
Not now, but if give me like 2 weeks in Hawaii, and I will be.
Get a tan and you're set.
Exactly. I miss that I'm already back to normal.
Big
It
spray
sucks. My tan just doesn't last
Tan
that long without
asterisks.
maintenance. There's no maintenance here. Well, not that I care to.
Well, once
Like an
once it
hour-
gets a little warmer and you're wearing
It's
shorts
still
in the
like
shop
an
and that
hour
kind of shit.
laying in that sun. Does what this sun does like in 6 hours.
Well, the problem with this sun is that it tends to burn you more than that sun does because you have a lot less fucking atmosphere between you and the sun. So the thing is, that you can't sit out for the
And
same
it's
time.
dry
frame.
as fuck up here.
Yeah,
So it doesn't really dry you out
You
down
beat
there
as a
as it
bitch.
does up here.
right. Again, even being pure white bread, I have the luck of the Irish on that one that I fucking don't burn. It takes forever. Like, I don't put anything on ever, and I
I
don't
burn,
get
but it
sunburns.
goes tan.
I'll tan. I'll end up getting tan. It's just one of those things.
Like
My mom has very beautiful like French olive skin. My dad.
When I
is-
worked at a medical instrument company, we used to joke that it was impossible to contaminate biological samples here.
Cool.
It's because it's dry.
It's not moist.
Because the UV sterilizes everything.
Well, and that's like the thing. That's the reason why like cars don't rust and like.
kids. Mountain Dew though, it's a different thing.
What?
Sterilizing. Mountain Dew. Killing your sperm.
Oh, we talked about this. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
I forgot about that.
Do you think?
Everyone has 4 Mokatangs, etc.
What
Lots
were
of
you?
radiation up here.
What?
All right. I believe it. That's funny.
I don't know what it means. Everyone has 4 mocha tanks, like it's a household object that everyone's got.
Well, hopefully that becomes the case. In like
Everyone's
5
typically got like, you know, spatula and a pitcher of mocha tang. Like just, it's not a normal household, like it's not an object you own.
So I have a question. Now that we like talk about like some mocha tanks situation, so what you need to do, like, we need to like see if you can create like the perfect blend of coffee and tang.
No. No, that's that instant cappuccino shit.
Tang is slang for pussy fuckers.
Like, yeah, I know, but like I just try to move off of that situation. You gonna like be Eric now or what?
No, I'm thinking about the coffee
The coffee and tank situation.
It's like I've
That
had.
sounds disgusting.
It does sound disgusting. I don't like coffee, so.
I've had some coffees with like. It's not really a coffee. It's usually like a after dinner cocktail. It's got coffee in it, but also booze.
Oh, I thought this video was gonna be covered in drywall.
I think I need to smoke more to make sense on your show. Hello.
I think you're correct. Come back in 5. Just teasing.
I mean, like, because you get like creamers that have like, like a hint of orange and things like that already.
Right.
I mean, I have hazelnut creamer. That makes sense. Not tang.
Also.
Well, I'm just saying, we just like configure like the concoction amount.
Do you remember the cream savers? Like the.
It's called a condom.
Okay, so sport. I'm confused. Not my house.
My fucking pillow.
I don't even know if we can continue with the actual conversation at this point. We're gonna try. Now that you got like the phone stuck in the dome.
Oh man. But I was talking about the candies, and you talk about like tang, like doing like a cream tang. You know,
That'd be
like
pretty
orange
good.
cream saver. An
Yeah.
orange tang.
I mean, like one of like my favorite flavors, like when we're smoking shisha, is
With
orange
creamsicle?
cream.
Yeah.
So yeah, orange cream and mints.
I don't think that and coffee sounds pleasant.
You just gotta like find the right ratio.
Ah, pumpkin spice. There you go.
It's
Throw in
kinda-
some pumpkin spice.
Yeah, like it's not that far off of the realm. Is all I'm saying.
Gross.
You're not a pumpkin spice lady.
I don't. We've talked about this too. I don't mind the flavor and like what it is. I just hate what it's become.
Savers is ever worse.
Mocha Tang cream savers. Mocha pussy cream savers.
Well, not,
It's a new bag.
yeah,
It's selling on Adams and Eve's.
very interesting taste.
It's like About it for like a second. Because you pulled the Adam and Eve, and I was like, edible like underwear. I was like,
Saving that for later.
I bet there's a market for it, but
Bet.
I don't want my name on it.
I mean, you are Mocha Tang, so you kind of.
Mocha Tang cream savers.
You're welcome.
So are they
So
my
good.
personal cream savers that I've used and I'm selling those? Or is it a brand? Or is it both?
Give me both.
You get to
Different
use one
flavors?
that I've already used.
Different flavors of cream savers.
But yeah, I get really gross. What are the flavors though? We haven't even established the
flavors in this.
We haven't even established the main product yet. There are two options. Which one is it?
I was thinking like the porn genre, where it's like where dudes like jack off and like the girls like underpants and they pull it up kind of situation. I was thinking like that.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing, which is weird to me.
You watch some weird shit.
It doesn't. You just.
I do, but I don't watch that.
I haven't said that I haven't seen it. It's not something that I've watched. Like I'm not like looking it up. It's like again the memory. I
don't have to look it up anymore. It's just in my feed. It's all the weird shit I watch.
Like my TikTok, drowning in it. Drowning in it.
Drowning in cream savers.
So like I was like that's where my brain went to that, and I was like this was like ugh gross.
Just translated to brown cream pies.
You feeling real freaky? Try out brownie cream saver.
that's in my brain. I don't want to be there.
You can't.
Gross, dude.
What is Tyler's?
I don't want to.
Oh boy.
Boy, Waffle shows up.
Let me see. What is that?
It's a book.
A collection of semen-based recipes?
Oh god.
Kind of curious, I'm not gonna lie.
It has 294 reviews. Are there actually like real reviews? Or are they just bullshit?
What a treat, dude. You want to talk about a fancy, like, homemade anniversary dinner for you and your wife? Oh.
Reviews are amazing.
I got a special surprise in your
I
blonde.
mean,
Cream frige.
do you want some more?
How about a
Give
whole
me a
new,
second.
whole new
I've been
meat
working on this for
thing.
like 2 months now, okay?
You've been holding out on me. I'm gonna do a creme brulee.
This is disgusting.
You can get past the smell, it's fine.
Babe, your smegma is a little thick today.
You have any more of your smegma cakes?
Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to try my husband's smegma cakes. They're so good.
Yeah, we both were like,
I can see Eric being a collector.
I don't know.
I don't know, we were just talking about orange coffee, dude.
We
I'm
were.
sorry I even mentioned Mocha 10 being dirty.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Fuck off, Tyler.
We got real wrong here.
I mean, yep.
That's it. Shut her down. We're done.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Got at least 7 clips out of that. We're good.
Okay.
He had a clip. Oh my god. My husband's smegma cake.
It's gonna. I mean, I'm gonna have to.
That's a good small little 8-second clip. You just started right says, have you guys tried my husband's smegma cakes? And we're both just like, and cut it. That's it.
I'm like fully disgusted, but also it's hilarious.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to smegma. We'll make you one.
Oh.
It's kind of like a jelly-filled donut, but you're injecting.
This reminds me of something else that was disgusting that's stuck in my brain.
Oh yeah, do tell.
It kind of goes on this like same realm.
Cum donuts?
No. So like a couple of years ago,
Good guess.
this is
no,
several
Like a
years
Family
ago.
Feud. Yeah, good guess. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we did a Family Feud? Oh my god, please.
We break Steve Harvey.
It'd be so much fun, dude. They wouldn't let us on.
There's no way.
Oh, they should though.
Because, like, intellectually, we would all kick ass at that game because they only let retards on.
Yeah.
2, if we can't be serious, we're going to be doing what we just did, and they're not going to let that air either.
Right.
Not my fault. It'll be great. We'll have a heart attack. It'll end the whole show going out with a bang.
Steve, I bet semen cakes are up there.
We would just do it for the memes, for sure.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't care to win.
No, fuck
We're how
it.
famous we're about to be.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it would
gonna
just,
win that.
yeah, it would just be.
We should do
I saw-
our own Family Feud.
It's gonna be
Can I be a robot voice?
just as
Everyone
gross,
has to be in
but I'm
person.
down.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. We should do a
Alright,
Family
let's
Feud.
try this blood orange Hefeweizen.
Yes. I think you should be here in person because you should probably be the Steve Harvey.
Him?
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't think
Who would be
so.
Steve Harvey?
I need somebody that like gets the gets the jokes, but like is like much more like tame about it.
Eric.
Kate.
Teeth are real.
No, neither of Eric doesn't. Eric wouldn't get the jokes is the problem.
Which is the funniest
we
fucking
have
part.
to explain it is the problem. That wouldn't work.
But for content purposes, it's fucking hilarious.
So, and Kate wouldn't work because she's also on the same level that we are.
Yeah.
So, like, she can't keep a fucking, like, a consistent...
Tall Paul.
Paul would be perfect.
Paul would be perfect.
Actually.
Or David.
And then, like, he'd be so tall, he'd have to, like, bend down to, like, talk.
No, it's even better. The whole time you can't see his face. Which means I'll have to, like, get down because we're, like, kind of right there.
Well, we're going to let you on our show, so...
I want to make sure Steve Harvey's teeth
Put it
are
down,
real.
bro.
How are you going to do that? Are you going to suck on his teeth? Are these real?
What?
He's like, I want to make sure Steve Harvey's teeth are real. How are you going to do that? You going to grab him out of his mouth?
Your actual, like, that.
What, you're going to suck on it? You're not trying to make smegma cakes.
He might be.
How else do you test it?
I'm going to bite his teeth.
You could use toenail clippers and clip it.
You could just not be worried.
That's even weirder. For one, like, you're going to get, like, toenail clippers that are, like, they'd be huge.
It's gonna hurt so bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're real.
It's like taking bolt cutters in the situation at that point.
Oh yeah, rub acetone on his teeth.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
If they weren't real, he's gonna need fake ones.
That's a weird why, for one. Like, why
would you do that? That melts his whole face.
No, like, my thing with, like, why does it matter if his teeth are real or not? This is my question, Tyler.
Yeah, stoner. What's your problem?
Like, half of my teeth are gonna be fake in the next fucking, like, 4 years.
Yeah, he's got that, like, perfect denture smile.
Right.
Yeah, because he's been in showbiz for 35 years and has paid for it.
Right. I know. I'm not the one fucking asking about it. Direct your attitude to the chat, not me. I'm just saying. Like...
I mean, but that's the thing, is
that's
like...
what? He looks like he took one of those little wind-up teeth toys and shoved it in his mouth.
Right. I mean, honestly, if I had...
If I had the money, I would get veneers all the way through. It'd be fucking perfect.
Well, I'm on my way, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. A lot of people do that. A lot of people avoid orthodontic treatment and just replace their teeth.
Yeah.
It's all about that modular replacement, man.
And if you it just costs this much money. And things, as humans, our teeth are not supposed to be pearly white anyways. It's supposed to be like, just like a shade to the cream side. And then so
it's more like a bone.
I want to fucking hit you.
Just saying.
I know, but like...
It's a good color.
That's because it is that.
Then you're welcome. What, are you stupid because I named it spot on? Okay.
I can't believe I'm having a conversation about Steve Harvey's...
You started it!
Fucking
that's a creepy ass situation right there.
I just want to see if the teeth are real.
Like, I don't understand. More than likely, they're not. Like, there's very few people on the planet that have, like, perfect ass fucking teeth like that. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, there's just no.
No, his aren't just white. They're straight as a fuck. Like, they're not. He's had work done.
Oh,
again, all that money.
I used to be in the dental field. Yes, there's clearly work that's been done on his face. This region.
Pry bar? I'm gonna smack him in the mouth with
Look
a
at a
metal
picture
rod.
of him from like 30 years ago and a picture of his teeth now. You can tell there's work that's been done.
He was born with these teeth.
He comes out smiling. Ugh, terrifying.
He came out with that smile and that fucking mustache. He's had it ever since.
He does have like that like unique Steve Harvey mustache. Like
with that bushy
nobody else has like quite the same thing.
Not even close.
Plus he's got like the big old bushy like eyebrows to go along with it too. So it's like the whole like package.
Like Mr. Potato.
It would be funny as shit if you shaved that thing off. He would look silly as fuck.
My dad had a mustache my whole life growing up, and then I'm in high school. I'm driving in traffic next to him, and then I look over and I see him, and he shaved his mustache off, and I instantly bawled. It scared the fuck out of me. It was the weirdest thing. It was just the weirdest thing, and I just cried. My mom's like, "What is wrong?" And I'm like, "What did you do to his face?" Like, it was traumatizing. Like, that's my dad, but it's not my dad. That's how it would be with Steve Harvey. That's Steve Harvey, but it's not Steve Harvey.
I mean,
I bet that upper
yeah,
lip
I
is
feel that
fucking
way when I
massive,
like
man.
when I shave. It's fucked. Like it like makes me feel like so shitty when I fuck up my beard and I have to like trim it short. And
Yeah,
I'm like, ugh.
I get it.
Ugh. But Steve, I mean, I don't think Steve Harvey looked that different without a mustache.
I think he's
I
covering
think
a
that
lot
you
of real
could
estate.
have.
So a lot of
honestly,
skin to introduce back.
I
to
think
the
that
face.
his teeth could be fake, and they could have been made as in like replication or replicating his teeth that he did have. Because sometimes people end up getting failures when they have really big front teeth. Their teeth fail.
Right.
It's just a thing. So they do have to get fake fronts. So a lot of people replace their canine to canine.
If someone created clip art of a black mustache and giant white teeth, I would think Harvey.
I think, isn't that his like logo
Are you
anyways?
racist
so.
or what?
I think his logo's at least his mustache.
If he got rid of his mustache,
I don't think that's I think that's like not racist though when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it was like I just saw a black face and I think Steve Harvey are like
his
they look the same, but like I think that like no hair is black. What?
What?
His hair is black. It's because out of what my context, the context of
Oh,
my
okay.
question, what I said.
I was like no hair is black. I was like there's plenty of black hair people.
Correct. You're correct. I stand corrected. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, true. But somebody's gonna get offended and say that it's racist. So your idea is shot. It's true. I mean, Dr. Seuss isn't a real book anymore, so whatever that's about.
his look,
It's about the blackface in
About
that book.
blackface.
he wouldn't be the same.
I don't think that I don't know. I think that he would be
lose
okay.
his whole following? Do you think everybody would be so
No.
offended that he shaved his mustache?
They'll probably tell him don't fucking do that again.
Would he lose out on contracts because he doesn't have a mustache?
If there's a clause in that contract
Does
says you can't shave
he
your
have
face,
his mustache insured?
I mean,
Probably.
it's hard to say because I'm pretty sure his logo is his mustache, like the
It's
Steve.
definitely like his staple.
I'm pretty sure like
Mustache for like 4 decades.
Like, since
Yeah,
he
that's
could
his
have a
signature,
mustache.
for sure. I don't know if it's like written into his contract and he's got insurance on it. Why do you get insurance on your hair in the first place? It's fucking
yeah. So like his his logo is Steve, like is Steve. The outline of his head and his
That's what it is.
mustache.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also,
yeah.
always look pretty Nick.
Right. So if you, like, look at Steve Harvey's teeth 40 years ago,
Okay.
and then look at his teeth now.
Definitely
Steve.
a lot of work.
Let's do like Steve Harvey, 1995.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is going on?
We're very serious about
I don't
understanding.
know. He's pretty like. They were like that in 1995 too. Like that's an old picture of him, for sure. They're pretty big and white.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll do like a 2000, like now, like 2020.
I mean, the teeth don't look the same.
He's like a hand model.
Well, and some people are like that. Like they just like the genetics work out for them.
Mm-hmm. This could just be his real teeth and he's taking very good care of them.
Yeah, dang,
But also,
he
like,
probably did.
But if I was like,
That's some damn...
if
his
most of my
dentist?
job relied on my physical appearance,
Right.
I wouldn't be a fat ass. Like, I would look much different. If I also had like the time
That's
and the
also a
money to
very
do
nice
certain
suit.
things
Like,
to
this
like
is him
take care
now.
of it.
Like,
Right.
definitely
You can
changed
see
it.
the money increase
Yeah,
level from like the 90s to now. Like
yeah.
the suit like pricing went way up.
Oh, yeah.
Or like like that.
That
The previous suit was a
suit
nice suit, but it was like
That suit is about my
$5,000.
income I've made in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this was like
Very
$20K, like those kind of situations.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's like his entire career is again him, his mustache, and his suit. So, I mean, this man looks good with fucking gray though when he's like not colored out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Most black men do.
I think a lot of men do, to be honest. Actually,
A lot of men do, but like just.
There's a lot of men, when you start getting gray, you're like, damn.
Plus, also, like, black people
Hey.
just don't age like white people do. They age much better, for the most part.
True.
For the most part.
I think that people in general have just gotten a lot better as the aging process has moved on. Because I remember, like, when I was like a kid, like 50 seemed like fucking old. Like, you saw a 50-year-old and you're like, damn, that person is like dying. And then you saw an 80-year-old person, you're like, that person is already dead but somehow walking still.
Right.
Whereas, like, now, like,
Zombie.
yeah, you got like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and you're like, have you changed in the last 20 years?
True.
So, like, the black don't crack thing I think is a thing, but I've also seen some, like, real haggard black people too. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
I lived in Georgia.
That's what I said for the most part. There's some people that don't.
right.
But, like, he didn't age that bad. He filled out a little bit more, but that's it.
Well, he just got, like, you know, the more comfortability weight.
Mhm.
It's like Russell Crowe. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's plump, for sure. Like,
He's plump.
you know, he went from being like in like, you know, like Gladiator and all that shit where he was like fucking like the man, to, like, you know,
Yeah.
like world's hottest like dude like situation to like
It's like world's most okay dude.
you're a 50-year-old man, I got you. But like, you know, and that's, you know, again, that age where like you have money now, you don't really care, you don't need to like, you already have your name already is on the pedestal, so people are like, oh, fucking whoever this is.
Mm-hmm.
And you got other people too, like, I mean, you went, like, even people like Arnold Schwarzenegger went through that shit where he, like, got comfortable and, like, didn't give a fuck no more, and then he was like, well, now I'm not even me anymore, now I need to, like, get back to where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, some people are like that, and other people are just like, man, fuck it, I'm old, I don't give a shit no more.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. This beer's alright too. I don't know which one's better, to be honest.
What is that?
That's the Grimm Brothers. Or the Griffin or whatever. It's Grimm Brothers?
Yeah. Griffin Brothers. No, the Griffin from Grimm Brothers. Is it? No, it's not Grimm Brothers.
Yeah, it's Grimm
Is
Brothers.
it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's right next to the little red cap.
Right. I was trying to find that.
This one's New Belgium.
New Belgium.
What does that mean?
I'm kind of bummed that they're not owned locally anymore.
Who?
New Belgium.
Oh, yeah.
Belgium.
I think that's how a lot of their community-focused like events go away. To be honest.
Mm-hmm. Corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they're owned by a sub-brand of Kirin, like, you know, like the soy sauce like shit.
What?
Like, yeah. So Kirin owns like a lot of shit actually.
Not surprised.
So they own like one of their sub-brands like makes like Anheuser-Busch products in like Asian countries, and that's the sub-brand that technically owns
Oh, okay.
New Belgium.
We should have some on by Cream Savers Company. We'll fund that. Should take that shit straight to Shark Tank, actually.
I don't think Mark Cuban's on board. I was like,
Well, there's more. Yeah, no.
can you name any of the others that would possibly throw their money at random ass shit like that?
Mr. Wonderful would.
I have never watched that show for fun. I just know Mark Cuban's on it. I have no idea who else is.
Mr. Wonderful is the other, the guy who's always in the middle, the old fucking bald, cantankerous looking fuck. He's got a hell of an attitude.
What does he do? Like, how does he have money?
In the same way that Mark, like they're all investors. Is far as I know. I don't know. I don't didn't Google their fucking
Mark Cuban
backstory.
owns the fucking Dallas fucking Mavericks.
He also invests his money in other companies.
The Mavericks? That's right,
I
yeah.
don't know.
The basketball
He
team.
owns something, yeah, some sports team.
How did he got his money from like something like big too, actually. It kind of like the Elon Musk where he got his money from PayPal.
I don't know.
Mark Cuban. He's an entrepreneur. Well, no shit. Is there no Wikipedia here? Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. He owns the Dallas Mavericks, and he's the chairman of Access TV. Co-owner of 2929 Entertainment. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Career. There we go. He started his own company, Micro Solutions. That was right. No, I don't want that update. Thank you. Company was an early proponent of technology such as carbon copy, Lotus Notes, and CompuServe. He sold Micro Solutions to CompuServe, then a subsidiary of Block for $6 million, and then he started his way up. There's a bunch of other bullshit here, but
Cool.
just
Made an investment, sold it. Made an investment.
yeah, he created a company, got it, big enough to sell it, and then started rolling the investments. Which is, I mean, again, that's he worked his way up through the situation. Again, he didn't have a small loan of $1 million.
Ooh, what would I do with a small loan of millions?
I just fucking park it, to be honest.
I don't know. I'll do a few things for sure.
Yeah, just small loan of $1 million. Just buy a bunch of shit, put it all in an LLC, claim bankruptcy. Done. Then it's free.
So free?
Dog water?
Because, I mean, I'm only another couple years away to when I can do another one, so I might as well just fucking do it that way.
True.
Give me a fucking personal loan for $1 million and then buy a bunch of shit. Then
put it all in bankruptcy?
Just put it all in the fucking LLC, and then it's separate. And then it's my own company. It's my own shit. So.
Yes.
I mean, why not, right?
Might as well give it a go.
Now that I've said it on it's a securities fraud at this point, but
Right.
so I can't. But
That's exactly what a normal person would think. So I'm not going to be expecting you to do it now.
right.
Well, he wouldn't do it. He'd fucking sell it on the internet. Fuck you, he'll do it.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer and watch this.
I mean, $1 million isn't even a lot of money these days.
No. Yeah, I would take that.
I mean, it's life changing. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's a lot of money. You can't just do
No.
anything you want.
No. I'd probably just take about half of it, buy a nice house, and put the other half away.
Yeah.
That's all I really, because cars and whatever, not like a huge big ticket item, but a house would be nice to just have paid off. A lot of expenses that you don't have to worry about in the day to day.
Well, I mean, if you put half it away, you basically make itself about 15 to 20K a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, you wouldn't want to live off 15 or 20K a year, and your
No.
taxes alone on your house would be, more than that. But it's a safety net that you can have a little bit of fun. You're not fucking struggling every day to
Yeah, no.
You can actually find a job that you like, kind of situation, or do something that's a little more involved with what you want to do.
Well, thankfully, right now I actually like my current job.
That's good.
For once in the past few jobs.
That's always good to hear. Because you've had a struggle moment for a while with that one.
Yeah, for the past few.
I don't mind my job. find it very boring.
To me, like, leadership and management's a big fucking deal. And I just don't work well for idiots.
I don't think anybody should.
So, like, not every manager or leader or whatever should know everything.
Or pretend to know everything.
But they should know more than me, and if not, at least be a quick learner. Like,
well, and that's not necessarily true either, because you want to keep people around you that that know things that you don't know. So, like, a good leader will put stuff in place that even if he doesn't know that he can put it in the hands of somebody that does know it.
Right.
So the idea is, like, that's where, like, the people that you want to keep around, the people that you don't necessarily know what they know, but they have enough knowledge to know that you know what you know, and those kind of things when it comes to, like, a business situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, because again, like, if they're like a person, that was like the problem with, like, your job at the last, shop, where he just thought he fucking knew everything, and he didn't know anything. Those are the worst kind of people to put in management, because they're just going to fight everything forever. And when they don't know anything, and they're like, it's not even like a learning situation where, like, if they don't know but they need to learn, again, like that moment, that's fine. But it's that person that thinks they know everything. It's like, yeah, this is what it is. And you're like, no, it's not that. And they just fight you the whole time on it. And I had that problem, like, when I sold cars. The general sales manager was, like, the worst. He ended up being, like, a nice guy, but he was such a pain in the ass. And at the time, I was, like, 21, 22 years old. He didn't think I could do anything. But every time he wasn't there, he was not there for fucking 3 days a week. I sold a car in the middle of the week, all 3 days. As long as he wasn't there fighting me doing the thing, where I'm like, no, we got to do it this way because you told us to do it this fucking way, you fucking asshole. Like, I sold a car fucking every time he wasn't there. Right. Every day. Yep. He wasn't there. But as soon as he was there, he would just, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. And it's like, no, I do it every time you're not fucking here, so just do it the way that I'm doing it. It's working, obviously, so stop pretending that it's not. It was also that weird moment, too, where, like, it was 2008 when I was selling cars, 7 and 8, and it was a very different... We can park it for a minute. It was a very different market, too. Like, that was when, like, the whole, like, selling cars was changing. The internet was becoming, like, the majority of how people got their information. You couldn't you couldn't just fucking roll shit over people's heads. Or, like, a lot of these, older salespeople and sales managers, they worked in the fucking 80s.
Yeah,
where, like,
they were always haggling and
a much
fucking
different market
doing
back
they
then.
could.
Yeah, they could do anything.
The
like,
whole
there was
sleazy salesman came from
that was the thing. Is like car salesmen back in the 70s and like 60s, 70s, 80s. Like, for one,
blowing
cars
their
were
mind.
garbage, so people had to get new cars all the time. So like they would just throw people's keys, like literal stories, like where it's like, yeah, we would just throw people's keys on the fucking roof, and send the fucking lot attendant at the end of the day to go get them. Like, because we'd automatically make them buy a car. Like, that was like, people were so much more like gullible in the situation. For one, cars also weren't like such a more than your yearly paycheck either.
Right.
That's also something we like forget about too. Like,
you imagine if some salesman did that.
Now? Oh my god.
A family walks up, he just grabs the keys to their fucking car and
Yeet.
come onto the roof. So which one do you want? Dude, you fucked.
There would be people fighting.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, like, if I walked up with my family, my husband, my kids, and somebody tossed the keys up, like, my poor husband, he would have to get to them before me. or he'd have to stop me. Like, you son of a bitch.
Right. And that's kind of the thing, is like,
Listen
it's
here,
just
motherfucker. Take
those
the
old fuck you. That's a fucking boot too, so it's gonna hurt.
I know flip-flops. Hey, I might live in the South, but got a boot on.
Windsor resident gets arrested for throwing shoe at salesman. But yeah, it's such like a different market, and like, that was like the transition period, because like when Avery was looking at trucks last year, like during the pandemic, like we were walking around dealerships like in the day, like, and nobody would come talk to us.
Yeah.
We're like,
because they can't. Cool.
Yeah, like, well, and that's the thing is like, we're just not used to, especially like.
You're not used to walking into a car lot and people just leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like during like a normal day when they're all there.
It's like as soon as you drive on the lot, you see them run out the door.
Those freaking vultures.
To be perfectly honest, you kind of have to be.
Yep,
I
that's
know.
true.
You have to
I had car sales.
Yeah.
I didn't use car sales. It's a lot different. I couldn't imagine doing that dealership car sales.
Fuck.
It's hard. I mean, it's actually not even that hard.
It teaches you a lot.
In this area, it's actually not too bad. I'd hate to do it in like a bigger like city situation where you just have like a lot more.
The mentality of that dealership life is not for me. Not a fan.
You don't like being like really like completely told what to do ever.
No, it's not a fucking idiot.
Well, I understand that, but in a corporate environment, like you just kind of some things you just do as you're told.
No.
I know, and that's why you don't work well in a corporate environment. Because it's just, there's just those little things.
I'll do what I'm told if it makes sense. If I'm just supposed to do this because you got told to tell me I need to fucking do this, go fuck yourself. You do it. Why do I have to do it?
Right.
That's why I get in trouble.
Yeah. I also don't work well that well in customer, like in like corporate environments, because I also just get like, no, thank you. Like,
what you guys are doing is dumb, and I don't want to.
Like when I worked at JBS, there was a few times where I was lucky that I wasn't on the phones all day, but it was like internal only. It wasn't external. I wasn't talking to like customers or whatever. But it gets real old telling somebody like how to type. When they like move somebody from, a meat fucking chopping fucking job to like management where they have to do paperwork and they like have never touched a computer their entire life and they're 45 years old.
That's tough.
Oh my god, it was brutal. And like it was one of those moments where I was like, man, if I didn't like, and I've had that problem like even in my current job where I'm like yelling at somebody like, because I'm like, leave me like to like fucking fix it or whatever. You can't just harp on me for fucking 2 hours like trying to like get the information when you haven't even given me time to like work on it. Like those kind of moments where you're just like, and I'm an angry, loud person as it is, so it's like.
That's why I like my job right now so much. So I've got my managers, my bosses, and my regionals and whatever. But in the day-to-day, I'm by myself. I get my schedule, you just put stuff on my board, and it's up to me to organize it and get it all taken care of. So I don't have to rely on other people to do my fucking job, which is great. Well, I can't do. There's still parts and other bullshit.
Well, parts in the automotive industry is just all complete garbage.
All garbage.
Everything.
They're making a point to not hire people who know things about cars. Parts departments.
They don't want to pay their money.
Right.
And they don't really have to. It's kind of because like you as a person that actually needs the parts,
I know what I need.
You can get the part numbers for them, and you've learned now that we don't let.
We do their job for them.
Yeah, we don't
All they get paid to do is.
We don't let the parts people figure it out because they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
I've met a few that were good.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they're 80 and retired.
And there is a few other ones too, like where like it'll be like a kid that like that's in their 20s that like loves cars and that kind of shit, and they'll actually do a good job because they're trying to like
figure it out.
Have a
they have some drive.
Right. Whereas like you get like those like it's always like the guys that are like mid 40s to like mid 50s, and they're always working parts counters at dealerships, and they have no idea what they're doing at all. Mm-hmm. And they've worked there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And you're like, how do you not know what the fuck you're doing? Like, it's literally like...
Why are you still employed?
Yeah.
If you had a vagina, you would have been gone yesterday. 15 years ago yesterday.
We fired him 2 years ago. He just keeps going in.
I had a lady that I worked with when I worked at Terrell Doyle in Cheyenne, and she was like the other service writer.
Oh, I bet she was amazing.
No, she was terrible.
Oh, terrible. Thanks.
Her name is Jackie.
That's a good guess.
She could get hit by a bus, and I would kind of laugh, to be honest. She stole like $10,000 from me. Because she was the only person, she worked there for so goddamn long, and there was so much other rollover, that she was the only person that had all the passwords to everything. And the way that like our pay plans worked is like we had a shared pay plan, so like we got a percentage of like what we wrote, and then we wrote together because there's only 2 of us. So like, I thought my paychecks were kind of lacking, but I didn't know because I only worked there for like 4 or 5 months, and I lost tons of money. To the point, like, within that 4 or 5 months, she was so bad at her job that the customers that have seen her for 10 years would ask for me to her face. And I was 23 at the time, and she was like, mid-40s, and she was fucking pissed. And then so she just started changing all the numbers on everything to her, so it looked like I wrote nothing. So when they came, they were like, well, the analytics are, like, fine, and, like, there was a whole spiel. I've told him about the story of me getting fired there.
Wow.
This lady can go, like, I'm not a fan. But, like,
gee, I couldn't tell.
Literally, I went back to get my W-2, like, not even 6 months later, and they had canned her because they had figured, like, she was, like, stealing all this money and all this shit. Yeah, like, so, like, that's why I was like,
so did you get an apology?
No, because, like, the owner at that point, okay, so Terrell Doyle is not Terrell Doyle anymore, because Dave Doyle, who I've known for a very long time prior to working there, like, I knew him, like, from, like, this big racing big cars. Like, we race go around the country with him and this kind of shit, like, all this shit. He was not a good person. He ended up being, like, found in his Florida home, like, in trash bags.
Oh.
Yacked up. So, like...
Okay.
Yeah, so, like...
Well...
Rough night.
Yeah, it's a bad Wednesday.
Yeah, he whenever he crossed somebody, he didn't give a fuck, and some people, like, found him and that kind of shit. Like, there was one of the people that, like, there was, like, another suspect in the situation that was never found.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, and now it's just Terrell Chevrolet and Honda and all that shit. It's not even Terrell Doyle anymore. And the Terrell family, they're also kind of shady, weirdo people.
Yeah.
Like, they're, again, like, I find that, like, car salespeople aren't, like, necessarily bad people, but they're, like,
shady.
They don't know what they're doing is wrong. If that makes sense.
They put their blinders on.
Yeah, so, like, it's like the...
Oh, it's wrong over there, but not right in front of my face.
Right, so it's one of those things where it's like, they don't do it to be shitty.
They just
are. Yeah.
It's just in their blood.
Yeah,
it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not a phase, Mom!
That's kind of the thing where it's like, I have, like, if it's intentional, like, you intentionally do it shittily, that's when I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, that's a very different thing to me than, like...
If you're just ignorant and naive...
Yeah, and you just kind of, like, you've always done it this way, and this is the way you learned, and you didn't know that was, like, not what you were supposed to do. That's where, like...
It's much different.
They're one and the same, but they're also, like, intent means a lot to me. And this is the way that, like, I operate. It's like, how do we, like, look at it this way?
Big difference between being, like, an asshole and just stupid.
Right. Where you get, like, those people that, like, they saw their moms, like, fucking... Yeah. Or they see their moms, like, just yelling at people in general. It's not because they know it's bad. They just always work that way.
Right.
And that's, that's a hard one to, like, differentiate, too, where it's like, you gotta stop being garbage.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same point, it's like, if they don't know they're being garbage, it's like a habitual liar situation. When they're like, they lie so much that they just believe it to be true, and they don't know that they're lying anymore.
Right.
And you're like...
You've convinced yourself.
Yeah. It's one of those moments where you're like, okay, I don't want to hate you, but go fuck yourself. Like, kind of situation.
No, I fucking hate you. You pathological lying piece of shit.
Well, but that's one of those things that we, like, remember, is again, it's like, the intent isn't to lie to you. It's just not. But, like, they do. And we've had plenty of those people in our lives where we're like, why do you lie about everything? The things that don't matter. That color is brown, not black. Why do you think it's black? Like it's one of those moments where you're just so everything is a lie. It's, I want to put a person's name out there, but, like, he watches sometimes, so I'm not going to put it out there. But, like, where it's like, there's just so much lying where you're like, I can't, that's why, like, those people, I just don't hang around them anymore. And again, it's not because they're bad people, but, like...
Yeah. There's things when we... I don't know, that in my mind, I spend so much time with kids and children and stuff that I just instantly go back and I'm like, okay, so at what time frame were you so traumatized that you had to revert to this as your behavior, and now you've used it as a coping mechanism when just dealing with normal life, and therefore it's now your character?
Right.
What happened?
Well, and that's, like, the thing is, like, being that, like, childhood care, like, caretaker at some point, those kind of things, is to, like, mitigate those problems before they happen.
Exactly.
Or it's like,
if you are lying, then you know it's bad. And if you know it's bad and you still do it, that's when you're a problem.
Right.
And it's like the constant lying to like just lie. Because like, oh, I get away with it, and then it just becomes, you're just lying because that's the way you think life works.
Right. Yep. You know, I had one of my nephews, what did he do? I think he was eating a donut under the table at my house or something. And he lied to me about it. And I was like, who did this? And they're like, oh, and they weren't being honest with me. And then they finally fessed up to it. And then that's when I fucking let him have it. Like, you don't fucking lie. You don't lie to me. If you were telling me that you wanted a donut, I would have gotten you a fucking plate. Like, you know where the plates are. Get a plate. Like, come on. Like, I'm your auntie. You're gonna eat a donut on my floor. I know this. This is why I'm here. This is my job. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Like, duh, I have donuts and chocolate everywhere in my house. I'm an auntie. Like, just don't be a douchebag and steal it and not tell me. And then I go to give you chocolate, and then I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, don't be a dick. Kids are dicks.
Well, and part of the thing is too, like, you know, I see like adults.
Adults do that.
Where like they know that they shouldn't. Like they know, like they're like.
Oh, and they look at you like, you know, I just lied, right?
Yeah.
Like they give me this like I could deer in the headlights. Like I'm pretty sure I just lied to you. And then they're like, and you know that they know that you know.
Right. And it's like, and
you're just trying to be cool and let them get away with their life.
At some point, it's one of those like moments where it's like, you're gonna get in trouble either way. You might as well take the lesser of the two. So if I catch you on your lie, don't continue it.
Right.
And that's the one that like really hurts. Like
when you lie about lying.
Yeah.
Best.
When they just continue that lie, or they lie like, oh, I wasn't lying.
Santa Claus.
No, I pulled your shit. Like,
you know, it's like when you're a kid, you don't think about it, but how much effort has to go into keeping up a lie?
It's crazy.
So much.
Like,
and then it makes me wonder how people live a double life.
Right.
Like, how do you do that?
It's funny, because every now and then Mikhail look over, it's like, you're not cheating on me, right? She has no reason to think so. It's just what she asks me all the time.
Right.
I was like, yes. And I was like, I've told her, I was like, 100 times to your face, I'm too lazy to cheat on you.
Right.
How much fucking work that is, dude? That's what I told her. I was like, obviously, I love you. I'm not going to do it. There's more reasons than just that. But that's a big fucking part of it.
Yeah.
You know how much, like, I've got enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got you guys, I've got podcasts, my streaming, our business, like, all this stuff. I don't need to, like...
I don't need anything else.
Please, a second fucking woman. One is already enough to off yourself. 2.
One is already enough to off yourself.
Like, it's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of effort and time, which you don't want putting into it, but I'm not going to do it twice.
Right.
For what?
Right.
I mean,
what's
that's
your
what
payoff?
it seems like.
Is it just the adrenaline rush? Is that what your payoff
yeah,
is?
it definitely is part of that.
It's the whole, like, I'm doing what I'm not supposed to be doing.
Right. I'm sure that, like, again, like, it's one of those moments where, like, people, like, when they tell me, like, they can't, like, exercise or do something that they want to do or this or whatever, like, I don't have the time, like, and then you see these people that, you're like, you have, like, 2 families and a full-time job. How do you operate? Like, how much time do you have? Like, I'm a person that doesn't sleep all that often, let alone, like, these people are like, how are you doing this? How are you keeping the story straight between 2 different fucking people? And, like, I don't...
Keeping names straight.
Right. I call people to their face the wrong name when the other person's standing right behind them. Like,
right, I know.
Like...
It's hard to be 2 people at the same time.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at it. I don't care enough to put that much effort into it to be good at it.
People should have just been fucking actors and stopped this fucking charade of regular jobs.
Get paid.
And like, get paid to be like 7
Don't
face.
be stupid. You're doing it for free. You fucking like get paid to do that shit.
You might even ruin your life off of doing it. So like,
at least this time you'll get paid.
Right.
And then you can retire after you ruin your life and still have money in the bank.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. It's true.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
There's nothing.
I like your response. I'm too lazy for that.
There's nothing that would want like I have.
Like, and that's a good kind of lazy.
Right.
Like, thank you for being that lazy.
It's too much work, dude. Hide that, like, fuck no.
Well, again, it comes down to, like, you know, how much time do you have? Like, somebody's getting neglected at one point or the other.
Right,
You know, like,
someone's gonna pick up what you're laying down.
like if you have a child and this kind of shit, like if you're living that two-faced life, the child's getting neglected in that shit. So like, not only are you treating somebody poorly, you're being a shitty father,
Being a shitty person.
Like, yeah.
I mean, if you find out that you don't love your wife or husband or whatever anymore, you break up with them, you divorce, whatever, and then you do your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen anyway, right? So do
Right.
it before instead of after. Because that creates problems.
It's a little easier when you're like upfront about like, hey, like I'm struggling with the situation. Again, it's like you're more in trouble if you just continue the life situation.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Just be honest.
So it's funny because it comes up every time me listening to the radio, but in the morning I always listen to the Jubal show, and they always do the To Catch a Cheater thing. And it never not works. Like, it's too hard to cheat. Too fucking hard to do it. Like, with paper trails that are left now, and like all this shit. It's just with the
it's not
technology
the fucking 70s anymore where one person's always at fucking home.
Right, and like if I'm late coming home from work,
right,
my wife's phone can't track the location of my phone in 1970. It fucking can now.
Right.
Like, it's just different.
Well, I mean, it's like phone bills just have fucking every fucking text message you want if you actually go into them.
Well, it's like this
Which
one.
is outrageous when you think about it.
This lady thought that her husband was cheating on her, so she called in. They did the thing. Her big piece of evidence was, well, she had two things. One, he had random scratches on his back, and his excuse was, "Oh, my friend got a new cat." That's what that's about.
It's a big ass cat.
Fucking
Your shirt is getting fucked up.
And then the second piece of
Tonga's
evidence.
fucking response. It could be
Cat or pussy? Which one, babe? Which one?
Well, then
it's like
and then
you
the
couldn't like make something else up like, oh, like I have to like squeeze through this shit at work or some bullshit.
Well, what made it even dumber was fucking they're talking it through to get the info so they can make the call, do the thing, and she's like, yeah, he said it was from his friend's cat, which doesn't make any sense because it's his best friend. He's had forever. I know him very well. He's allergic to cats. Like the friend that he was lying about getting a new cat.
God.
That friend was allergic to cats. So
What a dumbass.
and then the second tip off was a credit card charge to a hotel down the street.
Oh my god.
I don't understand. It doesn't
So obviously they
make
caught
any
him. The worst
fucking
part,
sense.
he was at that hotel with his best friend's wife. So yes, pussy, not cat.
Oh, yep, pussy. Yep, I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your friend has
But-
pussy.
So you just kind of ruin your entire life situation here.
Everything.
Right, for
You ruined
what?
everything.
Right.
Was it worth it?
I
Were you
mean-
madly in love forever?
There's a possibility, I guess, but like unlikely in this situation.
I'd say it's more unlikely than likely that.
Right.
So
I
madly
mean,
in love, like no, you make bad decisions,
right.
and this was a really bad decision.
Yeah. Again, like it's just like I don't know. You're just again when you're fucking up. It's one thing when you like fuck up one side and then you still have your friends and your shit like that kind of stuff, or like you fucking up your friends stuff, but like you're still doing like your actual relationship, your wife, and like, all that kind of shit. When you're like I'm gonna fuck both of them up, fuck my life, like because then your family's like not even gonna like you anymore.
I
Like
lied to my
everybody's
wife about my friend's cat that doesn't exist while I'm fucking my friend's wife.
right.
It's kind of against the code, but whatever.
Every code.
It's
I'm
like
actually looking up codes right now.
it's like part of the bro code is like,
Don't fuck your girl. Your friend's girl.
well, no, that's just like human code. Like, just don't do that in general. But like, if I were lying, I can include dick in my lie, and he is now obligated. He's not this kind of person.
I'm
He'll
not
just call
this
me out.
person at
No.
all.
He'll just
But
call
I'll
me
tell
out.
you that you're
But
a fucking
typically,
retard.
if I go, just like you kind of do with your siblings.
Right.
If
Like,
you lie to
fuck
your
them.
mom, everyone knows it's the unspoken rule that you fuckers are in on this.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we
Same
all
thing.
snuck out of the house.
Well, it's one of those things. Like,
This
if
is what
we're
we
like
actually
talking to a
did.
cop and we're lying about doing something dumb,
Yeah.
Right, and also, yeah.
all of us are lying
On the
about
same
it.
page. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. And
Bro
this,
code.
it's the thing that this isn't
Yeah.
a predetermined lie. Everyone just has to fucking ad lib this shit.
Yep.
We have to figure
This
it
is
out.
eye contact. Like we are in on this. Yep.
Yeah.
Our
Which-
listening ears are on.
Which I'm sure to a
You're
cop
right.
was hilarious.
I'm sure.
Interrogating a bunch of kids who are just like this at each other.
Me and Paul had this. This was many years ago now. He had a car that was like unregistered because we didn't have the title for it, but it had his previous car's plates on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first cop was gonna let us fucking roll, and the second cop like rolled in and he was an asshole.
No.
Yeah, so he like went through the thing and he separated us, and we somehow, some way,
Told the same lie.
the same lie,
Fuck
and
you.
it was elaborate. The car had been painted and all this like bullshit. Like it was bullshit. But at the time, like me and Paul were also hanging out like
It was the
every
same
day,
bullshit.
so it was like
Yeah.
That's what counts.
yeah, it was all bullshit.
That's awesome.
But like, because it was like he was lucky that his previous car, that was a Jetta, but on the registration it just said Volkswagen sedan. And the next car was a Corrado, but it was red instead of white. But like we were like, and then like the paint on like one of the mirrors, like the inside was like falling off, and you could see the white plastic underneath of it. It was perfect. It was a perfect fucking lie, and like we got away with the deal like fully. And then since it was in the morning, he got the title for that car the same day, went and registered it, pulled it out of the impound, so they couldn't even use the ticket because it was on the same day.
Yeah. Nailed it.
So yeah, like,
Fucking nailed
the
it.
cops like impounded the car, so we had to pay like the tow fee for that. But other than that, we didn't do anything else because it was it was registered already on the day that it was pulled over.
Right.
It just wasn't
The
that.
right time.
Yeah.
Right. Same day.
Day is 24 hours.
Right, and so like on registrations, they don't go by times. Tickets go by times.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it's, the time of year or whatever, but like the registrations don't have a time on it. So it
Yeah,
has
so
a date.
even though it could have been 5 o'clock in that day, it was still that day.
Yeah.
So it goes back.
Which is
for
funny
that
because it was
day.
like 4 in the morning. So like there's no fucking way that it was registered that day. But the court can't do anything about that.
Right.
You just gotta run your rules. But yeah, so like, but I'm sure like that cop hated us for that. We had the same lie because it was bullshit.
And he knew it.
Yeah,
But
he
He
knew
knew
it.
it, but he's like, fuck,
He can't,
man.
but he can't prove anything
Can't do
different
anything.
because like all of the things that we said matched up, but it was complete horseshit. And you could tell. You're like any other sane person would be like,
But it's the same horse shit that would stand in court.
Yep.
So fuck you, sir.
I've had my fair
We
share.
know it's dumb. We
of
know
running
you
from
know
the
we
police
just
in this
lied.
town, so
Yeah. We know it's dumb. We know that you know. We just made that up. You can't do shit about it.
right, as long as you don't say that.
Woody.
Yeah, you can look at that and you can smile and you can do all the things because I've definitely done it before. Where you're doing like, oh,
Right? Mm-hmm.
but as long as I don't say it out loud, you can't do nothing about it.
Right.
It is one of my favorite things to do to law enforcement. There's a reason why they didn't like me for a very long time, especially in this goddamn town because they were bored for a very long time. Much of my high school years, they were very bored. Early 2000s, when there was half as many people here,
Yep.
oh my god, they would bother us so goddamn much. It was
I know, they were
annoying.
bored. They had nothing to do.
It was just very much leave me the fuck alone while I do fun shit.
Oh, man, that's funny. My dad used to run from the cops in Brighton. Growing up, just run, like, causing trouble on his dirt bike, do the thing, start, like, the whole, like, Wild West thing, but on a dirt bike. So he's, like, outrunning all the cops and just being town shit and just
Got a
all
story.
the fun stuff.
Are these new coals or old coals?
This brand new bowl.
That's brand new.
That's what I thought.
I have a story about running from the cops on a dirt bike.
I also don't.
This is actually when I was selling cars even.
I have a story of running from the cops. Oh god, I got a few of those.
I have
mean,
a story about
shit.
getting arrested.
Oh, you do, huh?
I didn't run. I got caught.
Oh, don't call it. Well,
Somehow, some
that's
way,
what's-
I've never been arrested. I don't know how, but
I got arrested for impeding. Well, that's not why I got arrested. I got pulled over for impeding traffic.
You got arrested.
And the only traffic was the cop riding my ass.
That's how you get a Dewey in a shitty way.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because you heard the details of that story, right? When I got pulled over?
I'm not sure.
I was wearing 15 under. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't swerving. I was just cruising. It was like 3 in the morning, and the cop pulls me over, and that was the reason he initially pulled me over. That was his cause, was that I was going too slow. I was impeding traffic. What
3?
fucking traffic?
Yeah.
You pulled behind me, you could have passed me on this specific road. And even in the report, he wrote that if I would have pulled over to the shoulder, he would have just been on his way and passed.
You can't do that in Colorado.
One, you're full of shit. At 3 in the morning, if I pull over, you're not going to pull over just to make sure everything's okay. Fuck
right.
you.
Yeah.
It's not Nevada. We don't have shoulders for that.
Dude, there's no shoulder on that road. It's a fucking ditch.
Yeah.
You want me to pull off into that, and you're just going to cruise by as I drive into a ditch?
See, which is funny, because I wish you could tell a judge just the way you told us
Right.
that, because they would understand it.
Right.
And they'd be like, okay. But the problem is you can't.
Right.
Right.
You have to, like, say it nicely. Which, then he's like, oh, now you're just bullshitting me.
What you said made sense, but I like the way you said it, so I'm going to jail.
That's...
Right.
That is a big... It's a plus... It's a big plus and a big negative in our justice
You
system.
can kiss ass and get away with a lot, but it can also...
Yeah, it could fuck you over.
Yeah. So and then of course they did the whole roadside test, and they, it's one of the things I found out, at least in Colorado, is that if the dash cam or body cam footage is not submitted by the police, you can't ask for it to be included.
Oh.
So, because he, like, in his report, he was saying that I almost fell over on the roadside test. And it's like, I was buzzed, but I wasn't fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And, I was like, bullshit. Like, pull that video. I guarantee you I did not.
You have to request it prior to your trial situation.
You can't request it at all.
So, there is ways you can get it pulled.
My lawyer even tried, and he's like, because he was a DUI lawyer, the dude I got. He's like, no. He's like, unless the cop involves it, it's pointless going after it. Because I guess they tie it up pretty fucking tight.
Right. It's kind of like it's a worth your time situation, and money is kind of the thing.
Right.
And
especially because he knew that he could get me that deal that I got. He's like, don't even fucking go there. Because there's a chance where I could have gone for it. I could have fought it and been fine. But it could have also backfired.
And you could have seen
Could have pulled the video when I did fall over to start, remember?
Right?
Because you're so full of adrenaline, you don't know.
He's sitting there telling me to touch my nose, whatever. I'm just touching his nose. It's like, oh, I was fucked up.
Yeah. Whoops.
One time I was with Spencer Gaw.
Oh.
This is so many years ago. This is like when he first moved here.
Yeah, when he was fucking wild.
He's still. The last time I hung out with him, we had some problems. I love that kid though.
I haven't seen him since that concert we went to, I
I
think.
didn't see him since his wedding.
Steph and Spencer?
Right. Well, and since it's like pandemic, they haven't been doing anything because Stephanie has immune disorders, so
Right.
she can't.
She can't do anything.
She really doesn't want to like be around, which that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I talk to her every once in a while, like on Snapchat and stuff. I'll send her stuff about the preschool and whatnot, because she bought my preschool aprons, and when I first posted about my preschool and stuff.
she's dope. Like,
she's so wonderful.
yeah,
I
I do like her. I mean, her parents, like when they like hold us up when we went down to the Dallas half marathon down there, it was super fun. Like had a good time. Like they're great. But when this is probably 2008, 9, something like that. When he still had the Camaro, V6 Camaro Fortune.
Oh yeah. Fucking beds.
And it was, it had the Texas plates on it and shit still, like all this stuff.
I know, his fucking hair, he couldn't see out.
Yeah, he just had this big old fucking fro. Always. And his hair was just,
Fucking flipping it.
all the
Always
time.
in this white and pink striped button down.
yeah, he always was wearing a polo or
Always
a
wearing
button
a polo or a button down. With the shittiest pair of jeans, just flipping his fucking hair. The whole time.
Always like the
The
holiest
shittiest pair of jeans that he's had since he was maybe 13
Yeah.
years old. Kid's
Raggedy
nothing.
ass shoes, and his parents and his family has some coin. Like They're not broke.
So it was a choice.
Yeah, it was for sure a choice. Like they're both their families are fucking
Happy.
pretty loaded. Let's just say the double prenup happened for sure. Not out of like, we're just gonna do it as like a thing.
It's not a common practice.
It was because it was a necessity for the families, which is fair. Like that's what prenups are. They're saving family money. They should more people should do them because it saves family money. Or put like limitations on something. But we get pulled over and we were hammered, like fucking sheeted, and we're going to the shop, and we had like left TI or something. We get pulled over like right like on Mulberry, like right at LeMay. We should be fucked. So we sit there, and so like, cop comes up and says, he has got this Texas plate, Texas ID, all this shit. So they can't really do a whole lot. Because Texas will take Colorado stuff, but Texas won't, or it's the other way around. Colorado will take Texas-like stuff. Like if you got tickets or all that kind of stuff, then they'll put it up here. But Texas don't give a fuck the other way around.
No, why? Why?
Right.
Why Texas?
And that's why like the things like in a lot of states, you can just like do whatever and nobody gives a fuck. It's changing over time, but so we get pulled over. Cop pulls him out. Then there's like, another cop rolls up as he's pulled out. He's like doing his thing or whatever. He's like, all right, go sit back in your car or whatever. We sit there for like 20 minutes. Cops are just fucking bullshit. They're just blah 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 blah. We're kind of freaking out because I'm like, Spencer, you're fucked. I'm sorry. Like I'm hammered as shit. You're hammered as shit. We're fucked. Mm-hmm. And then cop comes up like again 15, 20 minutes like after he pulls him out of the car. He's like, all right, like I know where you're going. Like just go there and don't fucking leave. And I'm like, that should not be a fucking thing, especially not Larimer County in Colorado, like at all. Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those like, I hope you gave him like $200 or something. Like,
I wish that would happen for me, because when I got pulled over, you could see my mom's house where we were going from where I fucking got pulled over. He was like, where are you going? I was like, right there. He was like, okay.
Did you get pulled over by turn signal Ted? Like Charles?
What?
There's a guy that has like the highest like rated DUIs, like that like works in Larimer County. He's Larimer County like deputy, and he gives the most DUIs of any officer ever.
No, the guy that I got pulled over was the DUI enforcement officer.
Yeah, so it's turn signal Ted. You
Yeah.
got a DUI the same person that Charlie got a DUI from.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't fuck around. He doesn't. That's what he does.
No, it's anything.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Like on the side of his patrol car, he's not a police officer. On the side of his, it says drug enforcement officer, or something like that. It wasn't drug enforcement. It was
I've never seen that, but
like he had his own like, cause it was
nobody should ever get pulled over for doing under the speed limit, unless they're doing like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, technically the only reason you get pulled over is if you're impeding traffic, or if there is a sign posted that says minimum speed limit.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, and that
I'm
like
sorry, sir, but you don't count as traffic.
right.
Because you didn't have to pull up behind me. You were just sitting there in the dark, like a fucking weirdo, when I passed you, and you decided to become traffic.
This is an asshole.
Yeah.
I hate that like mentality where it's like strict fucking bullshit where you're like that's garbage.
Yeah.
And again, if you would have been fucking 45,
But he wasn't Fort Collins police. He was the sheriff department.
This turns like 10. Because Charlie got fucking like he got his first one. He wasn't even. He probably had like 4 or 5 drinks for the whole night. And the only reason why he got pulled over is he was driving his dad's Ridgeline at the time, and it still had the California temp tag. On California, they put him in the windshield. They don't put him on the back. So, because in California, the plates stick to the car, regardless of even if you trade it in or whatever, it stays with that car. Mm-hmm. That's where the plates stay. So, like, they don't care. They don't look at it that way. If you get pulled over, like, oh, whatever, and see you later. And they typically don't pull anybody over for that infringement in California. But like here, if you don't have, a show license, then they can you. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened there.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit.
That sucks.
Yep.
Again, I'm good at talking my way out of things because I had a loud car for too long. And a loud truck.
And a loud vehicle.
I got pulled over all the time in Mustang. It was constant.
Really?
It was. I talked my way out of probably 70 to 80 tickets.
Holy shit, Dick.
Yeah. It was. I was a teenage kid with a fucking 350 horsepower car. Like, it was, it's
That's really
Mustang.
cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna have a cool ass Mustang story, it's that. Like,
Yeah.
I've talked myself out of 80 fucking tickets. You son of a bitch.
I'm real good at talking my way out of things.
Why
Like,
should you have tits?
Oh, I know, right? If Dick was tits, I'm tits Ennis.
My legal name is Nick. My friends call me Tits.
You can call me Nikki.
yeah,
You
I'm real
call
good
me
at talking my
whatever
way
you
out
want.
of things. Talking my way into things is not the same, but talking my way out is easy.
You can call me whatever you want to, officer.
It was also a different time then too, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So like it was a little bit different, like, being 16, 17-year-old kid, like, yeah, I had like a nice car where like, oh, you like this, it's still kind of an oddball car because it's a big body Mustang since the early 70s. They're like just going up in value right now. I just saw like one that was like, I was like riding a bike on, was that Tuesday?
Tuesday, it's a good day.
And I rolled through like, what's like,
I don't know.
but I rolled through like the parking lot at CSU because I rode like 10 or 15 miles on Tuesday, and to try to get rid of some of this, and I just happened to see one like it was fucking nice as shit, and it's like, and then I came back here and I was like looking, I wonder how much these are going for. I was like, these are kind of expensive now considering I bought it for $500 in 2000.
Oh, wow.
I still have it.
Yeah, hold on to it.
Every now and then I still contemplate selling the 4Runner just for sheer profit reasons. I'm like, no, it's a good car. I gotta keep
Right.
it.
Days mix up for him.
He doesn't leave his house, so days mix up for him. Thanks, Eric.
I said the day that I rode. It's Tuesday.
You just rode in circles in your basement, you didn't leave the house. You just move the couches and you just ride in circles right here.
You gonna
That'd
do
be
a
hard,
cycle?
actually.
Yeah.
You would get a fucking
Very
workout.
tight ovals.
Get a single speed to do it.
Just fixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go backwards too.
Ooh, fancy. I was thinking I want to get one of those little things that you hook on the back of your bike so I can haul kids around the lake, take them for a ride.
We can set you up on that for sure.
We got one specifically for hauling beer in Tour de Fat.
Well, and I was also thinking like,
That
okay,
works.
I
That
was
can-
also trying to figure out, okay, can I figure out how to jimmy rig a wagon to connect to a bike? But I'm like, no, I need it powered because to put 6 kids, all 40 pounds, in the wagon and then put it on the bike and try and pull that around the
As
lake.
long as you have gears, you're fine.
It would be hard.
It'll be hard, but if you
With
got
her
gears,
like height, she doesn't have a lot of leverage.
Yeah, I'm a little low on that
It'd
end.
be
Yeah,
different
I'm
if
just
like
saying,
you or
like,
me.
it'd be doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be doable. You get the fucking wall.
Especially if you had a single speed, no, you're fucked. There's no way in hell. That would just suck.
I mean, we can set it up either way, like where you like again, like put a couple in there, like a situation. Like
Something.
80 pounds is like not crazy if you're not trying to go fast.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
So,
So
like-
I just want to get to the park faster.
Right. Well, you're not trying to hurt cats, basically, either.
Oh gosh. No, yeah, sure, that's great. Yeah. I did a good job at that.
Yeah, we got the one I've got. It was to pull beer for the Tour de Fat. I've got it set up so I can pull it with my bike, but I also put one of the attachments on the tandem.
Oh
So that year we had the tandem with the trailer behind it.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was great.
At least you got 2 power plants at that point.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
2 sets.
Because we were also talking
That bike also weighs like 80 fucking pounds, but
at some point we were talking about getting the tandem bike and then having one of those like one wheel bikes that you hook for kids.
Yeah,
So it's like
on
their
the
own
back.
bike, but it's
Yeah.
hooked to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then hooking the trailer to that thing. So it's just this long fucking train.
Yeah.
Great.
it would be impossible to turn. Tour de Fat would be miserable in this situation.
Why?
There's already too many people. I struggle sometimes just
Yeah, but there's the people
riding
who
around.
have like the giant like boat bike and like,
Right.
maybe,
Well-
like people will just move.
Right.
Like,
I want.
You're on a bike. Look at what I got.
I
got
told
a
you what I
tandem
wanted to
plus
build.
a ride
I
along
don't think
plus a
Sarah knows
trailer.
this. I want to build a tall tandem bike.
Double decker tandem.
Oh, sick!
So
That's
you
like
need-
a tricycle situation, so like it's like fucking twice as high, but like
You just get you have to get like another tandem frame. You can just weld them together in a way where you can just have a double decker.
Weld it very nicely so it doesn't snap in half.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, right. I forgot. Safety's not right.
safety third.
Third.
Yeah.
Last.
I mean, I can weld. It won't look pretty, but I can weld.
I can weld. And it looks pretty.
Well, okay. Then you're welding my fucking tandem bike. Got it.
I'm a dick, sorry.
I was like, I don't care.
Okay,
I
asshole.
have the.
I haven't welded in a
Here's
while.
the bike. Do it.
Yeah.
You talk that much shit? Here.
I also like thought about building them side by side and putting like a fucking like
It'd be
like
essentially just
Like a
sofa.
hammock in between.
like a sofa in the back.
Sit in the middle.
Yeah, something like that. We
Put
dope.
my dog in the middle.
What does it mean having it side by side so it's just essentially a car?
Yeah, so it's four wheels.
I think, okay, I'll probably need to get a bike and do.
I can
Do
make
the
it
tour.
pretty happy
Well,
as
Also, it didn't happen this year
jobs.
I'm sure you do, Eric.
because
Sure
Kyle
you do.
kind of fell through, but we were supposed to all be on those trikes. That didn't work out.
Right.
No, I was thinking I want to get one and then I want to get a sidecar so I can put packs in it. Put some goggles
So
on.
I want to get the one.
It's fucking adorable.
Me and
Perfect.
Michaela have this idea. I've got the bikes are about $400, but if you've ever driven past Recycled Cycles,
Yes.
so they've always got that bike out on display. The one they have is yellow. I wouldn't want that one.
That
I
like,
want a different one.
yeah.
But it has the
basket.
cart in the front.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you ever seen Nacho Libre?
Yes.
They did the same thing, but it's a moped,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna do that for Tour de Fat. I was gonna be Nacho. Michaela could be the nun sister lady.
Yes.
And then we're gonna dress Dorothy up as Chancho.
Oh my god, perfect. Yeah, do it.
And that bike would be perfect for it.
That's so perfect.
It's essentially what they have. Like I said, his in the movie is just a moped, which you're not gonna fucking use in Tour de Fat when you're going 1 mile an hour.
It would suck.
Yeah, no thanks. I was thinking about getting a motorcycle. A street bike. But I'd also still would want a sidecar to put packs in.
In a sidecar, you get like an old school like.
Go to your own.
What?
Your own. That's like the German. It's like the Russian. They're Russian actually, but it's like a Russian with. They're always with a sidecar.
Those military looking bikes.
They make new ones.
Mhm.
Oh
Still,
yeah.
Yeah.
with fuel injection and everything.
Yeah, that's what I want.
If I get another motorcycle, it's gonna be an Enduro.
I just want something that I'm comfortable on. Just because I mean, I've grown up on bikes. Like I can ride, I can do all of that stuff. But I just want something that's like not overly powerful, but powerful enough, and that like, I mean, I can handle it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a problem with. Every time I see a bike, I want to buy one. I wanna
Yeah, every
ride
time,
it.
every single fucking.
But I'm also just a fucking complete idiot.
We know.
So it's like. So I'm like,
silent nod.
Yeah.
do I really want to like put myself in the position to like do stupid shit? Like,
Yes.
and that's like, on a
Yes.
snowmobile, like I'm a little more like comfortable and that kind of shit. But like,
Let's all grow up and buy motorcycles and stuff.
I actually never told you my running from the police on the motorcycle story.
Ooh, do tell.
I ran from the police on a 90 YZF 200.
Hell yeah.
So 200cc 4-stroke. There was like an extra TZ at the end. It's like the Belgian like military bike.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like these like fat like dirt tires on them. They're really weird. And you could pull wheelies if you stood on the back pegs and like made it like it would do wheelies if you really tried. But I used to ride it around like I would ride it to my dad's house to sell cars. And then it didn't have I had plates from like 1994 from South Dakota on them. And I just rode it around, but like it was in the daytime, so like nobody bothered me. And it would do like maximum like 65 miles an hour, as fast as it would go. Like you'd be on the highway, like trying to like get behind trucks, like just real close to like get going fast enough to keep up. One night I rode it to the fucking cigar shop to smoke cigars, and I was after work, went straight there, and then I smoked for like 3 or 4 hours. It was dark as shit, and I went to ride home. I was on Remington, like right in front of like the old City Fort Collins High School right there, and fucking blue and reds, and I was all, fuck this shit. There's like the plates, like, they're not gonna like find me the plates. I have no fucking helmet on. I'm a fucking clown at this point. Just running stop signs, and I fucking just crossed fucking Mulberry, through a red light on like, I can't remember what street it is. Just jumped it right through there, and he's all lights off and nothing else. And I was like, I could have died right there, no problem. I was just like, I'm being a fucking clown again. I was like 20, I was 22 at the time.
Oh shit, Dick.
This is why every time I'm like, I want a motorcycle.
And then you
like,
remember this story, you're like, I'm kind of
well,
Well.
I got like.
The big thing for me is I just can't trust other people's judgment on the decisions they make in their own cars.
Yep.
Well, that's a big problem too. My thing is like, I don't know, I've worked on like, whenever like one of our friends, his name's Eric too, he would bring his dirt bike into the shop. It was a 450 KTM. It was a big fucking nasty fucking 2-stroke. And I guess I was a 4-stroke on that one because we had 2 valves on it. But it was a big nasty, 450, like it was a fucking race bike, like top end bike scenario. And one day I'm like, I do the valve like adjustments or whatever, and I'm out like making sure it's good. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm doing a wheelie doing 45 miles an hour down fucking Duff with no helmet on. What am I fucking doing right now? Like, it's just one of those moments like, it just automatically switches that like, I'm gonna do dumb shit right now, regardless of the situation that's happening, and I just don't want to like put myself in that position on a regular basis.
I understand that.
Okay, yeah.
I get that.
It's understandable.
Still buy the bike.
Well, maybe if I had it more often, I wouldn't just be doing immediate dumb shit. But
Right.
that's kind of what I thought about like buying a Grom, because they're like 125cc 4-stroke. Like they're bigger than a scooter, but they're not like big.
Sure.
They're like the little street bike, but they're big enough an adult can like comfortably ride it. And because like if you're doing wheelies and shit on that, like you're not gonna die because I do again at maximum like 50. Like you're just like the only problem is again traffic. It's like they're like not.
Well, see, you guys are in Larimer County. I'm in Weld County, and like I don't deal with as much traffic, but I also don't leave my house. So, but I mean, there's like the roads aren't that bad out there. Picking out a way to take a route to the mountains and avoiding traffic is totally doable. Here, you're gonna hit traffic no matter what you do. No matter where you go. I living in Larimer County, I was definitely way more hesitant in thinking about getting a bike. But now, I don't like.
I say these things when I ride my bicycle and I'm almost getting every fucking time I ride.
I know,
so.
and I'm like, I'd rather be on a motorbike than a bicycle. If I'm gonna go toe to toe with traffic, I'd rather be on something with a motor.
I'd rather not get squeezed between 500 pounds and 4,000 pounds versus a 20-pound bike.
I would rather not get squeezed about anything.
Well,
Like,
period. I agree with that situation.
I think we all agree with that.
But I think, like, if you're driving down the road and shit's about to hit the fan and you're on a bicycle, would you rather be on a bicycle or a motorcycle? Because on a motorcycle, I could probably get out of Dodge.
On a bike, you can totally get it. That bike weighs nothing.
I like riding my bicycle, like even in traffic. It's not like either one of them. You're like this. It's kind of like the two-wheel problem, just in general, because people behind cars are like they forget that it's a 4,000-pound killing machine.
Right.
Like that. Every one of them is like your fucking Sequoia. Like if you were like, I'm gonna mow these people over, you just can.
Yeah.
And it's one
a
of those
very
like
nice feeling.
So it's one of those like moments where it's like.
This whole crowd's pissing me off.
Yeah, so like people forget about this situation. Like, one of the last times I rode my bike before like winter like really hit, I was out. It was a fucking nice day or whatever, and I had like did a loop and I was like going down a mountain. I think it was coming from the shop actually. I was coming back this way, and I'm on a mountain, and like. I usually like just roll down through downtown because the speeds are slow. If I can keep up, that's not a problem. Like 2025 is like kind of cruising speed on my road bike. It's fucking easy.
Nice.
So I'm just like hauling through there or whatever, and this dude is like backing up down mountain in this van, like reversing. So I'm like, hey, like don't fucking be reversing down this fucking road. Like, I just yell at him loud, and it's fine. So then I stop at the next light, wait for the light to change and go. And then this dude rolls up, and then he's like fucking like yelling at me. He's like saying all this shit. And then like he's starting to like lean his car into me. And I was like, if you want to like fist fight, I'm down for that situation. Not this one right here. So I'm like pulling all these like, you know, I'm yelling at this point, like all this shit. And I was like, hey, like if you're having a fucking bad day, I get it. Stop. Let's talk. Let's fucking like whatever, something. Mm-hmm. Not like threatening me with your fucking van. And he's like, well, why don't you get a fucking car? Like I'm like, my fucking bicycle's worth more than your fucking van is, for one, because it's a fucking carbon road bike. So I was like, that doesn't even make sense in the situation. And then I was like, I'm just gonna fucking like let you fucking go so I can fucking like take a different route at this point. Because I'm like, I'm not fucking with you at this point. Because all you're doing is threatening me with a lethal fucking weapon in the situation. Even at 20 miles an hour, you run over me, I'm probably gonna die. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and that happens often because I'm not the person that's gonna sit there and just like, oh, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna yell at you for like being dumb. Right. It's the amount of times like weapons have been pulled and shit. Like it happens where I'm like, I'm just telling you that like I'm also here on the road. I'm not like I can't threaten your life on my bicycle at this point.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it seems like this. Something like I've had like I had this lady. I was riding to work one day a couple years ago, and that's like it's like a 9-mile ride or whatever. It's like not like super far or anything. And the route that I took, I was on. I had taken like Swallow out to LeMay, and then LeMay over to Horsetooth and Horsetooth down. And this lady, like, fucking, like, if I didn't smash the brakes, she would have taken me out, kind of situation. Mm. So I'm like, hey, like, you gotta, like, I'm on the road too, like, hang on, like, I'm not, like, I wasn't doing anything, like, nefarious, I wasn't, like, fucking leaving, I was just riding my bike. And she, like, was like, well, fuck you and all this shit. And I was like, hey, like, I'm just, like, trying to, like, make sure that, you're paying attention when you're driving this fucking 5,000-pound SUV. And then she literally pulls a fucking gun out. And I'm like, what are we going to do? You're just going to shoot me in morning commute right now? Like, I'm not even, like, close to your window or anything. Like, I'm just in the bike lane and now you're in the turn lane. And I'm like, okay, cool. What are we doing here?
Have a great day!
Yeah, you're going to, like, shoot me in the middle of, like, all of this traffic for just yelling at you for, like, to pay attention to what you're fucking doing? Get some coffee, bitch! Like,
oh, God.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, people are just insane. So I get, like, the quality of the motorcycle, like, in traffic. Because, again, like, you can actually, like, keep up no problem in most situations. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, if I'm on the road, people are doing 40, 45, I'm about 10, 15 miles an hour slower than that. So it's, like, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Well, right now, with all this weight, probably about 20 miles an hour slower than that, but...
Definitely. Oh, man.
Well, I gotta start the fucking 2-a-days here pretty quick, because that fucking half marathon is coming quick.
Oh, shit, yeah, when is it?
It's June 5th.
Oh, fuck, yeah, you're fucked. I better be working.
Yeah, I mean, I've been running a little bit, biking a little bit, but it's gonna have to be like 5 days a week here coming up.
Oh, jeez.
And then probably early to mid-April, I'm probably gonna start doing 2-a-days. Or I ride the bike probably in the morning, or run in the morning, and then ride the bike in the afternoon, 1 to 2.
Yeah. Get it?
Because that's the only way that like I'm gonna like
fuck up.
Be okay.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I mean it's the last half marathon that I ran was technically a Spartan race, but like the one prior to that, I cramped at mile 8. I wanted like a decent time, so like because both of them I twisted my ankle at like 8 or 9 miles in the Spartan race, and then that was a rough race to finish at 10,000 feet with a fucked up ankle.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
The Spartan race is the only race I've ever cramped up on. That was the one what I did at the Fort Carson Army Base. So it's a lot of hill climbing.
Yeah.
Super aggressive on your calves if you're not used to that sort of inclination.
Well, like the one that I twisted my ankle on, I was very prepared for that one. I was gonna have a good race, and then the only like road half marathon that I've done was in Dallas, and it was real cold that year, so like it was kind of hard to like get the runs down. It was like -5 all of November, and I'm all cool.
Ew.
So that cramp was like, it was justified. I didn't have enough training time into that one. Still finished. It wasn't even like that bad of a time, to be honest. It was like,
I want to do another obstacle race. I don't care which one, honestly.
I'm done with dirt trail races. I can't do it. My ankles do not like it.
I would do that.
The short ones are pretty fun. I actually like
I've
that.
thought about doing like some obstacle course races and stuff, but I don't know. I get kind of nervous doing a bunch of stuff like outdoors in the summer just because of my bee allergy, and I get nervous in the like. I try not to put myself in a situation where bees are gonna be everywhere and people are gonna be like, look. I don't know.
So we should do. They bring it back. We should do the one down at the Recess Factory in Erie. The terrain race.
The terrain race was fun.
That's a very good entry level
Really?
obstacle course. They run it through just a cornfield.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I read
There's
through.
mud obstacles. There's normal obstacles. There's little walls you gotta jump and monkey bar shit and mud
cool.
pits but
It
it's
was cheap
fun.
too. It was only like $35.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
affordable. It's close. It's just down in Erie.
Cool.
And it's not like the Spartans are just different.
Yeah.
Spartans are designed to fuck you up.
Yeah. No thanks.
Like
Yeah.
those races are like they set them up to fuck you up.
No.
And then the Tough
I love
Mudders
that.
have the intensity of a Spartan, but it's not as serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's more for the camaraderie of doing these obstacles, failing, but finishing, and then drinking.
Lots of that.
Which Spartan, you still kind of do that, but Spartan's a lot more of like competitive than.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spartan has like the competitive like nature, like because like the last one that I did was like the world
heats.
championship course. Like people from like all over the world came to do this race. Like it wasn't like Tough Mudders typically like the general area.
Right.
Whereas like Spartan, like people come from like they try. Like
They
I did a
come to
trifecta
compete.
that year, so like we did like an 8-mile race, and then it was the 4.5, and then it was a 13.8 or whatever race, and like
Pretty much 5.
yeah,
10,
and the thing
15.
is like the people doing their fucking ultras, which are fucking 30 miles, which is twice. They're doing the course twice,
shit.
or as fast as I was doing it once.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, like there's people like that like really get into Spartan racing. It like
Well, there's 6 different ones you can do. There's 3 basic ones, which is the Sprint, the Beast, and the Super. Or Sprint, Super, Beast.
Yep.
And then they've got the Marathon one, which is pretty much the
Yeah, that's the
or
Ultra.
Beast twice, the Ultra. And then they've got the Hurricane Heats, which one's 12
I do a
hours.
stadium one to be honest. I like to do because they do stadium ones too.
Mhm.
They're sprint length, so they do them like in like stadiums. So like you'll do like a lot of stairs, but like you're not like on dirt. And I think I would be okay with that one.
Just the dirt fucks up your ankles.
It's not Scott. Maybe it's Scott. I don't know. Might be a cake.
Hello?
Hey! Did you guess it?
I heard the car, and then like it wasn't as loud as Scott came in. I was like, perfect.
Well, I didn't park across the street because your whole side is parked up.
I know that
Looks like there's a party over here.
I know.
The Dotson's over
If you
there.
know anyone that wants the Yoda, it's for sale.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good to see you. I have a couple questions to ask you.
Oh, I have
We'll
answers for you.
finish the podcast up.
Okay.
How's everyone?
Good.
Good.
How are
Happy
you?
to see you.
How you vibing? Good.
Cute nails.
Thank you. I had to paint them myself because I don't take a sleep at pedicures anymore. So. Oh man, how's the day been? How's the night been? I guess.
It's good.
Good. I've just been yawning. I just out of it. I just keep yawning. I'm fine. I just keep yawning.
It doesn't seem like you're tired.
I'm
at
not
all.
tired. I walked in and was yawning. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have a yawning night. Like, I'm just gonna yawn all night long.
I had to sneeze like crazy today.
Dude, the weather's been weird.
Nuts.
Yeah. Yep, yesterday, I had to take a few rescue hits of my Flonase because I was like, I'm gonna be an asshole if I keep sneezing.
I always feel like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I should probably go back to the apartment and get some, like,
Benadryl?
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be real
Grab me some bennies. Oh, man. What are you guys talking about? I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh no, you're good. We were talking about marathons. We were talking about
Like,
running.
running them?
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing with training-wise?
It's been a little slow start. My knee's been like a bitch, but It was just talking about I've been doing a little bit here the last couple weeks, and then the next 2 weeks I'm gonna really start hitting trying to do runs 5 times a week, and then once probably mid-April I'm gonna start doing 2-a-days.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a run and then a bike or a run, something like that. So it's trying to I really just get the fitness up, get the weight off. Is the big problem. 2020 was not healthy on me, so.
I don't think it was healthy for anybody.
Anybody who was healthy for 2020, really?
Good for you.
Really good.
Right, I agree.
We're gonna
Excellent
stick
job.
to your smoothies.
Yeah,
Should.
just
Yeah.
keep doing that.
So that's the big thing for me is I just gotta drop that. I was just so used to riding my bike fucking every day to work, and then when that stopped, it was I'll be back to doing that in a couple months, and then it was oh, now I've just been sitting around for fucking 9 months, 10 months.
Hyler time.
Tyler! Welcome
that
back.
wrong?
That was a
Well,
fat
he's got
goal.
kids, he's got to deal with and all this shit. You know this.
Yeah.
He does the dab situation. Takes a little time.
It's different.
So do my nephews.
I do hash oil.
You kidding? They don't.
Dab that. It's so extreme too. I don't even have the energy to throw my entire arm out there.
I know. I was like, oh.
What?
But my nephews are as hard as they fucking can.
Beat the shit out of my 2-year-old balloons. Nice.
I'm glad it went over well. Did you lose?
Sterling's a cute baby too, so.
Oh man. Oh my
They
gosh,
got-
you guys gotta see.
They got another one on the way too.
That's so good. I mean, it's good if you want him. That's good. I saw Kelly last week and he's 4 now, and I was like, yeah. Remember when he was 2 and I was like, oh, well, kids, and now he's 4, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Very hard. I've done it.
His name's
I've set a balloon
He's
in
so
front of her
sweet.
face
So sweet.
and just straight up smacked it as hard as I could,
Just
and it
really
just
hang
bounces
out.
right off of them.
That's a sissy.
Yeah,
They're like the baby
you have to
versions
fill
of
the
your
balloon
dog.
with
I know, right?
water.
I know, I gotta show you. You're so cute. You're so cute. Look at, I gotta show you this picture. This is.
Dorothy's gonna be a
Almost
tough
all
kid
of them.
though.
It's almost
They're
all
almost-
my
I think I
kiddos.
dislocated her wrist the other day.
It's almost all my kiddos. So this is
What?
my niece.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
I
I know that.
Looks just
She's
like
getting to the
me.
point where she's too heavy to just pick up by her hand anymore.
Yeah.
This is my prom date
Okay.
niece.
Because it's just that
I graduated
a
with
lot
his
of parents do it to their
This is my
kids.
bus driver's.
And you're holding their hand if
Oh
they
my
trip
gosh.
and fall and put all their weight on
And
it.
then this
There's
kid,
just that weight now where
her
you
dad
gotta watch
used
it.
to be a
So usually when I
skateboard
have her
kid
and I'm holding her,
at
if I
our
gotta
house,
put her
like
down,
growing up
I
and
just
stuff.
grab her by the wrist by her hand and just let go and lower her down.
She's little.
And
And
then,
I think this day, usually I try to hold
and
more
then this
forearm
is Clayton's older
than wrist
sister.
for that reason.
She
I
is
think
a
that day I just
riot.
only had
Oh
mostly
my gosh,
hand.
her name's Caroline.
And-
She looks like she's a blast.
Oh
I
my
put her
gosh,
down
she
and
was
she just got
like-
pissed
Oh
off
my
or
gosh,
something. I didn't hear
all
anything,
of those
which is
kids. I
weird.
do every day. It's the greatest time.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything, which is weird.
So Kelly
but
was
she was just
like,
uncomfortable.
Stopped moving her hand for a little
I was
bit.
just like,
And if I moved it, it was fine except for one
he's
point.
4 now.
Yeah.
He's about to be
So I
5
think it
in
had
September.
to go
Yeah,
out and right back
It's
in.
okay, but sit down and eat your
But
She was
just enough
just
to just be
uncomfortable,
uncomfortable
yeah.
and
Sit
kind of
down and eat
sore.
your cake. Oh.
For like a couple days, it was always just down by her. She wouldn't move
You
it.
can't call me bud.
No,
I'm
listen,
not equipped to
listen.
handle you
And then
calling me
she had
bud
her
too.
check
Right, I know. I walked in and I was telling them
They
about
checked
my
like, yeah, it's
cowboy.
probably fine. We'll check it again just
The
to make
bus
sure.
driver's
Next
grandson,
appointment,
right?
but she looks fine. Probably
He's
just sore
cowboy.
from
That's his thing.
that.
He's gonna
Apparently
be a
it's
cowboy
common.
when he grows up.
Just-
I believe him.
So me too. So we're eating lunch. He's covered in ketchup, and we're hanging out. And they're like, "What are we gonna do after lunch, Miss Sarah?" And I'm like, we can do a craft. If you guys want to do a craft after that, I was like, "I'll have to get some stuff ready to do that." Takes a bite and he leans back and he's like, "Get after it, bud, or get after it, bro."
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm not
Right,
equipped to
bro.
have a 3 or 4 year old tell me these things.
Get after it, bro.
Yeah, that's when you make them do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well,
No,
so
no, no, no.
sorry, like when we were back at home, or when I was back at home last weekend for Dad's birthday, Kelly was there, and I was like, "Kelly, sit down and eat your cake, bud." And he was like, "You sit down and eat your cake, bud." And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do right now.
Again,
Because
that's
I
the
don't,
moment
I
where like,
can't yell at him. I'm
Oh.
not his parent.
But you can't.
His parents are there. So
Yeah.
I would if his parents weren't, you know. Like,
yeah, but his parents ain't doing shit.
yeah, they're not. That's kind of the thing. They're having him up on all the sugar. Kelly had dinner, and with like his pork chop and like green beans or whatever. He also had one of those like the Kool-Aid squeeze bottle. You remember the Kool-Aid
Oh, yeah,
bottle?
jammers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had one of those.
Oh, killer.
And then right after that, cake. So this kid is all hopped up on sugar.
Correct.
So he's all, you do it, bud. And I was like, oh man, I want to
Take a lap.
So
Take a lap.
bad. Yeah, I was like,
When my students get all wildly in the classroom and they're just like on one, I'll
Take
be like,
a lap.
take a lap, and they go outside and they'll go run around for a minute and come back.
well, he's at that age now too. Like when he was a toddler, he was totally fine. Like he was like, we were like, well, give Jesse some space, Jesse the dog, right? Because like Jesse is not like so big on little kids, but he tolerates Kelly.
Right.
Like, give Jesse some space. He's like, okay. And now he'll just, like, get super hyper and throw himself on Jesse. So Jess turned around and nipped at him.
Yeah.
Kid got scared and, like, started crying. We're like, that's what happened.
This is why we tell you to give them space.
Your whole life, we've been telling you
Yeah.
to chill. Like,
Yeah.
don't do this. Oh, my God. Rolling rock.
I saw it. I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll just buy it.
Decisions.
I think Travis got it actually, but
I'm going to jam on this for my pee for a sec.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's the Rolling Rock. There's
See the cool
mimosa sours, some mites,
Oh,
some mai
boy.
tais, and some
Oh, boy.
blood orange hefeweizen.
Yep.
Hefeweizens.
Hefeweizen.
That's racist.
that actually grew on me.
Stop talking about cows like that.
Sounds
Yeah.
like
Be nice to
What?
the cows.
You chill on those
You
heifers.
like milk?
No, like the
Be
beard
nice.
is.
Take offense to what you say.
Dick's like, no, I don't like dairy at all. I can talk shit about cows if I want to.
Do whatever I want.
Yeah, fuck cows. It's fine.
Wheat beers make me gassy.
Wheat beers make me gassy.
Wheat beers make everyone
I
gassy.
can't jam on the wheat beers. Like remember, we used to drink like a bunch of like Sunshine and Easy Street, and now I cannot do it. It's
I don't even
immediate
like it
bloat,
anymore,
immediate
like-
gas.
I used to love Easy Street. Used to be like my favorite beer, and now I'm like, nah.
Yeah, you throw a lime on there, it's like or like a lemon. It's like so good. I can't do it at all.
Yeah, I don't even like them anymore.
Like you know, like White Rascal fucks me up.
I
Fucking-
like White Rascal still as a beer.
I like it, but I can't drink it. It fucks me up. Like it just gets so bloated and so gassy. It sucks.
I'm just generally gassy, so I don't eat food in my butt, like burping. I'm like,
You eat food out of your butt?
That's
No,
what I heard. That's what I heard.
Yes, okay. There's my kiddos with her belly. She's so cute. She's the prettiest little predator I've ever seen. Look at this. Kids are all excited. Love it.
Gross.
It's amazing. Don't lie.
Gross.
Well, Travis, you have a kid. I'm only speaking from experience on this side because I don't have kids, but
Me
it's way cool to be the aunt.
Dude, the best. These
You
all,
just
they all
hand
go
them right
home.
back.
They go home.
Yeah, they get to go home.
They go home.
You're a bye. But it does suck to be the aunt that's like, I know your parents are not very responsible with like food choices, so like when you're with me, you eat carrots and apples.
The whole time.
And that's pretty much it, unless I have to like feed you a meal. And goldfish crackers, because I like those too.
Oh, yeah.
And then you give them back to their parents. Well, they give them to you, and they're like, he had cake for breakfast and a soda on the drive over. We'll see you later. And I'm like,
That's no, thank you.
Well, yeah. So whenever my mom watches Dorothy, it's just kind of a thing, and it's been the thing for a while when like, just people like I guess just act differently at my mom's house usually. It's like her dog, for example, will wake up every morning like 5, bark at her to let him out. Like always up early. Dorothy the same thing. She always wakes up at like 4 o'clock. Like, let's go, I'm ready, whatever. Where
Yeah.
Dorothy at our house will sleep until 10 sometimes.
sleeps
and
until like
she's
noon.
just tired.
She's like,
And then same thing like when we have to watch her dog. He doesn't do that when we're over. This is when my mom is in the vicinity.
way more laid back with you guys.
So then we started figuring out, we found out we were at home once after we picked up Dorothy, and all of a sudden she knows what coffee is. Like, how the fuck do you know what coffee is? Found out that she was getting a little bit of coffee at grandma's house.
Oh no,
She's like, coffee. She's like,
that's
I was
really
like,
bad.
so tell him,
God damn it.
so you're
God
surprised.
damn it, Grandma!
So you're surprised that she wakes up at 4 when, because we usually, her bedtime is usually like between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
You get her all rested, read books, whatever, put her down, she's fine, she sleeps through the night, whatever, wakes up. Usually around 7 is her normal wake up time, so that's when she hears us getting up and moving around. But when she goes over to my mom's house, she'll wake up at 4, and then we find out that, okay, well, so you didn't put her down until 9 o'clock or so,
Yeah.
10. You kept her up late, and right before you went to bed, you gave her ice cream and coffee. So,
Why are you
whose
surprised?
fault was that?
She's like, I did the same thing for you guys, and look how you turned out. And you're like,
I'm
that
okay.
is not a good argument, Mom.
We've learned that that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, we've learned
You
that,
thought
like,
this
when...
time would be different?
Yeah, well, when my nephew was at my parents' house, he has way more structure there. So, like, when he's with his parents, they're like, oh, we know it's like 5 o'clock at night, but we're going to put, Kelly down for a nap. And you're like, oh, dude, he's not going to go to he's not going to wake up until, like, 4, and then he's not, or, like, if they put him down at, like, 4 or 5, he's not going to wake up until 8, which means he's not going to bed.
Until
Yeah.
9.
You don't put
Yeah.
him down for a nap at 5.
You're going to have to
No.
slam him in the face with a
Suck it
cast iron
up.
You
skillet.
suck it up, you
Suck
keep
up
him
being a
awake.
bad parent for a couple hours.
Well, and that's it. Like
Then they'll be
they're like, we fed
tired
him all the
as hell.
sugar
So
and we
tired,
can't
yeah.
handle him. So like somebody handle him. We're just gonna put him down for a nap. No, you
Fuck
gotta
up.
keep him awake. Take him for a run around the block. Like I don't know, but yeah, they do that, and it's kind of like, well, if he's up at 9 o'clock and he's not going to sleep tonight, you guys are the ones staying up and like hanging out with him. So when they're not there and Kelly's just with like grandma and grandpa, then it's like.
It's
Kelly,
gravy.
it's bedtime. It's 8:30. It's bedtime. Let's go. We're going to bed.
Mhm.
And he doesn't take a nap anymore because he's 4. And he's kind of growing out of that anyway. And like he's up at like 7 or 8 in the morning or 6 because Papa might make him pancakes and that's like their jam. So like he's up and then like he has the day and then he goes to bed at normal time.
Mhm.
So when he throws parents back in the mix, they're like, it's like if you had some, but it's like a dumpster fire. That's pretty much it. Structure, and then you put them back in there, and you're like, what is going on, and why do you make it look so hard? Like,
Right.
what is happening?
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
And
I've
I'm
had,
like, stop giving this kid Kool-Aid. That's literally.
well, I've had
the
families that
answer.
like have invited me over to help them with sleep training their kid, and I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, whatever your schedule is, you have a problem. And it's like, and I think like that's one thing that a lot of parents have a hard time with realizing is that most of the time, whatever
Yeah.
your problem is, it's you.
Well, and I think it's the
Always.
outlook. They're like, oh my God, it's so difficult and it's so stressful. I'm like, I
My
need you to
kid-
take a step
my
back,
kid
take a deep
can't
breath, and look at it as science, just
Mhm.
for a second.
Yeah, development.
Yeah, look at it like that. Like,
Yep.
don't be like, how are we gonna like do all of these things? Just take a step back and look at it like science.
But this is also coming from people who don't have kids.
That's also
Travis,
true.
how do you feel?
But I had a dog one time, so
I did too.
And like it's one of those things like it's everybody like
Yeah.
works the same way, and the reason why like me as an adult is fucked up in the way that like my body operates is because I didn't have those structures the same way.
well, and it's constant.
And-
Like even as adults, we're constantly retraining ourselves to adapt to the environment that we have to be in.
Right.
I go to bed most of the time during the week at like 8:30 at night now. It's when I put myself in bed. That's not when I go to sleep. I'm on TikTok for like an hour. But like I put myself in there ready to like go to bed to wind down. And you have to do that for some kids too. You put them in bed, you read them their stories, you like maybe let them watch like a movie or whatever, and then they're out. And then you just let them sleep. When they wake up, that's a totally different thing. So like if your like kid goes to bed at 8 and wakes up at like 5 in the morning, and that's their pattern, you got to be like involved in that. But
Yeah.
that's just like the jam. If your kid needs to go to bed, your kid has to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, and again, once you put things on a structure, it becomes a little easier.
Every time.
Again, for adults and everything
It
too,
is.
like
It's all about repetition.
right. And like like I know like I have my body like cyclical situation's weird because like it doesn't. I sleep the best in the morning sunlight. Always have.
Love it.
Always will. That will
Love
be
it.
my. I can stay awake like constantly and like I'll be dragging ass until fucking night hits. And I'm like, oh, I'm just awake and here I
Yeah.
am. And
Same.
it's
But I also know that we love being awake in the morning so that we can go get breakfast.
well, yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword.
I like getting breakfast and then going to bed.
Yeah.
That's
Like a good nap
that's
from
like
like 11 to 1, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel amazing.
Well, I mean that was kind of the thing, like last night. Like I didn't sleep.
Is it Saturday? Cool.
Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday?
I didn't sleep last night at all.
Do I actually have to like deal with other people today? Like that are not me? Cool.
That was last night. I didn't sleep like at all, and yesterday I did a bunch of shit. Spent $200 at the grocery store on my own food because I'm ridiculous like that.
Shit.
You got your own food.
Well, I went to
house.
That's part of the reason why I don't really like going to the grocery store. Like for one, because I'm like, oh yeah, like whatever. Like at this point, like I'm just put it all in there.
Go with a list. And
I had a list, and there was no sticking to the goddamn list because I'm like, yes, this one and this one and this one.
I will go grocery shopping with you, and I will make you
That's
feel
why
so
I
damn bad about
I
yourself.
just take the list. I just do the list, and then I get it delivered.
I'm like, what are you buying?
Now some of those things also is gonna last like 2 or 3 weeks too. It's not like it's one of those.
I'm gonna alfalfa my hair up just to be that
Just
person.
wait. Totally.
Now again, some of
like,
it's gonna last like 2 or 3 weeks too. It's not gonna be like I'm gonna eat like I bought a bunch of snacks just because they were like on sale and shit. I was like they'll last 2 or 3 weeks.
Snacks are always on sale.
And so it's one of those like, things where like I won't go buy snacks again for like the next like time I go next week. But like there is like certain things that like I have to make sure that I eat fucking this weekend, like produce and that kind of stuff. Like it's got to be done that week because otherwise
You gotta get the sugars in. If you're doing a lot of cardio, make sure you're eating fruit.
Oh yeah, lots of carbs.
I had a really good conversation with
one.
somebody that
It's pretty.
you
I
know
have Coles
for
on.
sure, and his name is Whole Night. We were on the phone with him. I was hanging out with Mike earlier. We were on the phone with him, and they were talking about if they went to prison together after a couple of different scenarios. We were just rolling it through, and what their names would be if they were Little Debbie snacks. And I was like, you literally can't not be the bottom if your name is after a Little Debbie snack, because what are you gonna be? Oatmeal cream pie, honey buns,
Nutty Buddies.
You didn't watch the beginning of this episode.
I didn't.
Gross.
Yeah, I think while you guys were opening up this podcast, we were having that conversation with him. So
it was
Fucking perfect.
It was gross.
Mike was like,
Perfectly disgusting.
that's so amazing. Mike was like, and I'm gonna call you honey bun. And I was like, well, Mike, that means you're oatmeal cream pie. You're not like the top in this scenario by any means. In
You
prison
bottom
life, yeah, I was like, in prison, you're not the top. If people are calling you oatmeal cream pie, it's not
You're
because
getting
you're a
creamed.
top.
If you're worried about your own
Boy.
nickname in prison, you're not doing well in general.
Yeah, I was like,
Your first sign.
but also silver linings, if you already know you're gonna be a bottom and you're like, what Little Debbie snack name can I give to myself in this moment, because I'm definitely going to prison and I know it's not gonna
It's
be
also one of those
okay.
moments maybe they'll just think you're so
good
weird
job
about it
here.
that they don't want to do it.
Shove some
Where
lube
you're
up
like,
that ass.
yeah, and they're like, do it. No. They're all,
It's not
no.
enjoyable.
This is not gonna be fun. This is not what I was looking for. The
I
whole
wanna
longest
think
yard
that, but,
cheerleader situation.
I've never been to
Yeah.
prison, but I think it's so much more disgusting and dark and rapey than what is even in our caliber. Of
I think
mindset
you'd
right
actually
now.
probably be surprised about
How
how
much it's not.
not
Yeah.
how not dirty it is.
I don't know. I've heard stories from different situations, from friends who have been to prison for a few years, to people who went to jail for a couple of years.
Also depends.
It depends on where you're
On the
at.
Where
too.
you're
Right,
going,
it
what you
depends.
did.
Definitely it depends. That's all
How
true.
much of a bitch you are, so that they have to protect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
knew
sure
this big
20
guy-
years ago was a different 20, 30 years ago was a different situation than now. Because now
Oh, for sure.
they're definitely have to bring a lot of shit in line because phones get in that motherfucker. when
Oh
they
my
get
god, have
recorded.
you gotten to prison TikTok yet?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
I've seen.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Girl, how did these guys get a phone?
I watched a movie once.
Okay.
How good are you at taxes matters a lot. What?
Oh, if you're at Club Fed, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Obvious, because all those guys are in there for tax fraud.
I guess if you're
White collar
a
crimes.
white collar fucking
White collar
prison.
shit.
Because there is different prisons. Like Laura McLaughlin did not go to a prison. There's no fucking way.
She all came out all hard. She's got like teardrop, like tattooed on her pocket. She's got a spider web, but it's just a circle because she was only in there for like not even a year. So it
so they couldn't finish the
they couldn't.
I've never actually fully watched Shawshank
Everything is like a
Redemption.
different year. Fuck.
Like a white collar prison's like a different like again like Martha Stewart and like all those people.
Can you
they're
imagine
not going,
Martha Stewart going to prison? I would love this moment. I'd be like,
She did.
please-
She
I
did,
know,
I
I know
have to
that she
imagine
did, but like, can you imagine her
Like,
actually being in prison? I can't, because she's Martha Stewart. Like, what was she doing? She's like, listen here,
teaching him how
bitch.
to bake.
Just baking, yeah.
But you know, like, there's something in, like, you know that, like, if, like, she would have been way more alpha female than, like, a lot of people if you put her in, like, that
She's
position.
teaching
No
the other
fucking
inmates
way.
how to, like,
I
swap with each other.
There's
absolutely
no
think
way
would.
she's an alpha female
Dude, that girl is
in like an
so
actual
hard.
female prison. No fucking way.
I think
Yeah.
so.
No.
She went to a white
I
collar
think
prison.
so.
If she went to a real female prison, no fucking way.
She is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I know a few Mexican girls that laid down for good old Martha.
I'm not saying that there's not people that would, but like there's people that definitely don't.
She would. Yeah.
Everybody can benefit on learning how to tuck their sheets in correctly. And
How do you
how to
fold a
bake
fitted sheet?
a cupcake
I
the
learned-
way
I
to
just don't
actually
and just
look
wrap it up. I don't give a
beautiful
fuck.
and not overfill the pan. Everybody can learn from that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
If Martha Stewart was in there, all of those girls were like, "Oh shit, Martha Stewart is here."
We gotta think of the time frame when she went to jail versus like now after like all the Snoop shit and like everything like kind of changed that mentality.
No, I am thinking about that.
Because like prior, like she was like there. I'm sure if she went to like a real like women's like prison, she
I
would
think
have
she
fared
did.
well. She did not. She went to a white collar
She was
prison.
a club head.
Yeah.
God, it's just so easy.
I know, right?
When you have the funds to pay for a private, prison system that like treats her like shit nicely, like they have like some of those like places like where like rich people go to like fucking jail. Like they have like full like culinary chefs and shit. Like not just like lunch lady scenarios.
Oh yeah, it's bullshit. Well, because
Yeah.
all the culinary shit, like, or chefs that like didn't pay their taxes are in there. So like.
Well, no, like they're paid to be there. That's what I'm saying. Like all those people are like paid.
No way.
There's yeah.
What? We need
At, like those at those prisons.
Do we know any multimillionaires
So
that went to prison in the
like you're
past
something
5
that you're
years?
forgetting about like too is like prison system is
Hold on, let
a
me look through my
Hold
phone.
on,
an economy on its own, and there's a lot of like prison labor situations. So in those higher end ones, they get paid to be there versus not be there. So like they pay their like dues, but like in certain situations like they get paid to be there.
So what I'm asking you is, were the chefs brought in to feed them, or were they already in the prison
There's
system
probably both.
cooking it up? Because I feel like they would have already been in the prison system.
There's
cooking it up.
probably both.
Like they were like, it's like an episode of Chopped. They were like, I got canned tuna and
It's like-
rotten
it's like,
carrots.
what's like the
and
fucking
we're
like,
gonna make something amazing.
like Iron Chef shit? Like where like they're doing like
Exactly.
they're filming it. That's where they film that shit. That'd be
Yeah, they do.
hilarious.
Give them real people clothes because we gotta like sell this to like consumers, but
That would be funny as
Yeah,
fuck,
them prison
actually.
food. We have mystery
TLC
meat
just owns that
and
fucking
rotten
prison.
turnips and Sour Patch Kids from somebody's commissary.
We found it in somebody's job shop.
Make a breakfast.
They always do have like a
We
weird
have
supply
a
of like
chicken ramen noodles.
stuff. Maybe that is what is happening. We just don't know that that's what it is.
To be fair, if you watch Chopped
To be
and
fair.
you live it religiously, and you live it religiously, and then you end up in that moment, you'll probably do really well in that. Like, if you went to prison, they were like, "We want you in the kitchen." You'd probably be like, "Okay, so we have mystery meat and this and potatoes. I'm gonna make a 5-star dish that resembles bullshit. It's gonna be amazing."
What up, DT?
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
But one of these fucking call Martha Stewart, tell her what's up.
Right. So like the last statement, that's like the
Ask her
whole
if I can use her pants.
states are fine if they can't keep. That's the problem with privatization of prisons for one. But
Well, that's a huge issue because prisons for profit is not good.
right.
America.
This is America.
There's a reason why we have the highest incarceration rate per populace. So,
America.
but it's the land of the free. It's okay.
We're so free.
So free.
Freest.
Free is to go to jail. That's
Free
fine.
bird! Free bird! Land of the free, home of the brave.
This is one of those like most is like we like just suddenly realize that that's not the way to go, and now we need to change it, and that's hopefully something we can change in the next 20, 30 years. For-profit prisons are garbage.
Well, I was having a conversation with Mike about
You're very free until you aren't.
exactly. That's pretty much the whole thing. I was having this conversation with Mike because he was like, they pulled those Dr. Seuss books out of publish, and now they went from like 99 cents on eBay to $900 on eBay, right? And he was like, and I was like, I don't even actually remember what is in these books. I know that we had them, but I don't remember the issue. And I was like, I do think that one of them had like a blackface moment. He was like, there's one where like the guy has like a rice hat and like chopsticks.
Yeah, they're super
like,
racist.
Okay.
Dr. Seuss was known to be racist. Like, this was a problem.
But we knew that.
I remember this
that
being an issue
better.
like 30 years ago, like as a teenager, like 20, 30 years ago, where I'm like, we were talking about this then, and now it's just finally coming through like the bases where it's like, maybe we shouldn't be part of the situation.
Well, what I actually have
racist.
a problem with, oh my god. I don't know what I just shot out of my mouth, but it did come out.
Screensaver.
That's a shame.
Where it is.
Damn it, you lost it.
Oh my god. There's so much explanation right now that I don't want to go through.
Well, my question was, or like for Mike more so, I was like, I understand the moment and why it was pushed this way, but I actually don't think that this should have been on like cancel culture's agenda. What I think is the problem is that parents don't teach educate their kids.
And so they're
To
going to blame
understand,
society.
so they blame society.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, well, it's also
That's
on the
been the
parents
thing
to have a
everywhere.
conversation with their kids, and it's like that with sex or anything sexual, and that's why everything sexual is like constantly like cancel culture, like that kind of shit. And like if there's a book and it is non-negotiable, like, or it's like a problem, if it like makes you question your morals or values, if it offends you, have a conversation with your kids.
Right.
And what I
So-
told, like Mike was like, well, is it like a parent thing? And I was like, at one point in that kid's life, nobody was closer to that child than that mother. So in a way, you
100%.
really should not have a problem talking to your kids about some of the cringiest, most garbage shit in the world. But people don't talk to their kids, and they don't want to educate their kids, and they don't want to pick up the work that public schools leave out because it's not their job to teach their kids. So like you have
but
to
it is.
be
I pay
able
my
to
taxes.
give you but they're not paid enough anyway. Like
I
I
know.
would never right you get it.
I know.
So like why would you not want to sit down with your children and also teach your world or like kids how the world works? Because that's not their job. Their job is to teach them math and science and history and things like that. It's not their job to teach
He's too
them.
highly for this.
Too high.
Listen,
Right.
this is like let's all sit down and have like a group combo. Why are you offended? Why are you not offended?
Well, it's always
We
a
can't have
problem.
counseling sessions in schools because you're gonna get combated with that too. It's not the public school system. It's not the government's job to counsel my kids. Like that is literally what that's gonna be bombed with. So it's your job as a parent to make sure that your children aren't offended. If you're so offended by this moment, then educate your children on what that stereotype is and how to not make them see that. Does that make sense?
No, I have not.
That's my soapbox. I'm over it.
You're good.
But like,
Well, I mean, a lot of that just runs down to is again like people are mad that like all they're doing is they're not like they look at it as like a lot of people are looking at it as like a censorship moment. Where,
it's
like,
a band-aid.
They're
It's not
censoring.
fixing the
They're
problem.
censoring this. They're not censoring the situation. They're not banning the book from being in libraries and all this stuff. What they're stopping is the production of it. So what happens is it's the publisher's decision to do that anyways, because they don't need to be a part of it either.
Oh, I know.
When it's been this known racist situation where you're like, this has been a problem for fucking years, and we've realized this. It's much like Walt Disney being fucking anti-Semitic and all this garbage.
Oh my god, Walt Disney, like, right? I
Yeah.
mean, like, theoretically, I don't know because I didn't know him personally, but he was definitely, like,
Oh, no, he was
anti-Jewish, like, he
outwardly.
was insanely racist, like, he was a lot of things. But it's so cool because he created the best place in the world, which is not the best place in the world. I don't know how big of a fan of, like, Disney you guys are, but, like, to me, it was a fucking nightmare. It wasn't a nightmare. I was just like, I don't understand why like adults think this is
What
like
are
the
we
coolest
talking
shit.
about right now?
Stuff.
Disney
Things.
World.
Disney World.
But I have friends that think it's dope. Like in their 40s.
Nah,
They're like,
fuck
I
your
live
shit,
for
fuck
Disney.
your goddamn world.
I don't understand like why you like going there all the time.
Disney World's fun.
It's a flavor.
It's fun, especially if you have kids.
Disneyland asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to Disneyland over Disney World probably.
I haven't been.
I've only been to Disneyland.
I went to Disney
Florida's
World when
a
I was a
shithole.
kid. I haven't been to Disneyland.
Florida is a shithole. I went to Universal down there. I went to the Harry Potter park.
That I do want to do.
Right now.
It was cool, and I heard it's only better than it was when I was there.
Miska, Muska.
Yeah, that's still. My mom brought it up the
Should we
other
plan a
day
trip?
because we all
Should we
want
go?
to. My mom was already planning
I want to
getting us
go.
to go. So.
If you guys are going, I want to go, and then we can casually run into each other with our wands.
Right, and then we can leave.
You're welcome.
Then we can leave Dorothy
We
with
can
my mom. and
plan
run
it, but
away.
we can film it too to make it look super
Oh,
cash.
true.
Like, no,
Yeah,
it's so
that's-
cool. It's really fun. But I didn't go to Disney World because I just was like, I already met Mickey Mouse in Disneyland. How can it be in two places at once?
Past 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
You just-
Oh God, like every season.
Oh, Toodles.
I've never been in Disney
That
World.
sucks.
Sound like a kid thing.
At Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse,
Oh.
dude. Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
I know.
Wasn't
That-
like,
I've watched-
the Mouse Club was like, where, like,
M-I-C-K-E-Y,
Britney Spears and
M-O-U-S-E,
JT and-
Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, yeah.
Is it all, like,
Yeah, they were part of, well, that was like even before the show existed, the Mickey Mouse Club.
No, that was they were on the show because it was like in the 90s.
Yeah, it was called the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
But now there's
But there's a
Mickey Mouse.
cartoon called Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
And wake up having nightmares about it.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse turns evil and kills you in your sleep. Yeah, but
I've watched a lot of Bluey lately.
yeah.
Oh no.
Blippy. Blippy's my kiddo's thing. All my girls
my
have a
gosh.
big old crush on Blippy.
My kids are not gonna watch TV.
Sure.
I'm just kidding.
Good luck with
I
that.
know because I hang out with my sister's son. I'm like, don't you want to just watch TV?
Just go watch that. Leave me alone.
He's like, where's my iPad?
Yeah, Bluey's great. I've watched probably.
Oh God.
There's only one season of Bluey, but it's got like
You watch a video on the
52
flip phone
episodes.
like the rest of us had to.
Right.
Right in 2.3 megapixel or 2.3.
Good luck with that. You gotta hold it right here. You will fall asleep. I promise.
Have you seen the Flip It Poop video?
Yeah, I've not seen the poop video, but my kiddos love Blippy.
Okay.
Oh man.
It's like 2 girls, 1 cup level.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Not with kid shit. This is why
Oh
you have
my
nightmares, Tyler. This
gosh.
is you. This is
Yeah, that's
you
a
problem.
self.
Why do you look up that shit? Like really?
2 girls, 1 cup?
That and Blippy poop. Like really, dude?
I don't think 2 girls, 1 cup is on the internet anymore.
No, because Mitch McConnell got rid of it.
God damn it, Mitch McConnell. How are we gonna scar Gen
would
Z?
be-
If Gen Z saw that, they wouldn't be bitching
Remember
about
we looked
cancel
it up and
culture.
it was fake. So
There are so many other things to worry about in this world that are not cancel culture.
Let's cancel other important things.
Like 2 girls, 1 cup. But like give them
Yes.
the moment to do it. Don't just take it away. Premeditated, Mitch McConnell.
Put it on at the halftime show. Everyone will watch it and then pull it. Like,
Please be appalled by this
There's
poop
a-
ice cream moment.
there's a. Have you
Oh,
ever seen
God.
Tim and Eric Awesome show?
Uh-uh.
Like that show. It's on like. I don't like it. I think it's super dumb. It's like an Adult Swim. But they have this one skit that I find hilarious. It's disgusting. They have like it's where you can shit like standing up in a urinal. And it has like this tube and like this thing. It's so fucking funny, but it's gross as shit. It's like
Really weird that somebody was like, you know what would be convenient? Instead of going to the toilet to sit down and poop, I just want to like piss and then, oh my god, I have like a poker and now I'm gonna shove a tube
oh my
in my
asshole.
situation so I can shit inside the urinal that does not even have the drain to flush it down.
Might as well.
Amazing.
That'd be super.
It's my
convenient.
it
pocket
was
tube.
one.
It's
one
my
of the
pocket
only skit
pooper.
I
That would
love
be
from that
so
show was
convenient.
I hate that show. It's
So fucking
terrible.
dumb.
That one's
Oh
super
my
funny.
Oh my gosh.
Super.
I'm not gonna lie though, Shiwi is convenient. We've talked about this. Jesus.
What is that even? I don't even.
It's
The shiwi?
it's a
Funnel you pee into?
it's a girl funnel.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Wasn't that nice? Yeah. You
Yes.
can stand up and pee.
I'm guessing.
It is
I
nice.
have one.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It is. It's not like I think back to all the. Maybe not so much in like present day, but like to all the parties where I ended up like peeing in an alley or like anything like that. Like how dope that would be to. Not that I would like keep it in my purse. Hopefully, I probably fucking would. But like
I would. And a little bitty thing of water so I could rinse the bastard out.
Kind of like hand sanitizer, but like, yeah, to be able to stand up instead of having to like. Because you don't want to pee all over your outfit and you're all.
Yeah.
Somebody hold my purse.
Here, hold my skirt. Fuck it.
Somebody hold my whole body. Like, yeah, that would have been dope.
Like, did you guys see The
Like
Rock's
plenty of
picture of him letting his daughter pee? And he's holding her. He's standing up, and he's got her like folded in half. And he's like making a toilet with his arms, like holding her out like this, and it's windy and it's sprayed back at him.
That's just parent life.
It's parent life.
The Howie Mandel story.
Yes.
I'm covered in blood and shit.
Because he doesn't understand that girls don't just pee like straight down.
Because I don't want to touch
Yeah.
germs.
Yeah, I will tell you. Yeah, I think any girl would be the first person to tell you that. That's not in high school.
Yeah. It's not like a straight
How do
down
girls
scenario.
pee? Everywhere.
Kind of like a horse.
Kind of, yeah. It's just
Sometimes it's just like a-
depends. Sometimes it's a really solid stream,
Dude,
and
and
sometimes you're
sometimes
off.
you can
I don't
aim.
even know what
Sometimes
the
you can
fuck
aim.
I just did.
Sometimes
in
you
this
can
moment.
control it.
LOL.
I mean, yeah.
Right. It's
God
much the
forbid
same
you're
like
peeing with a
you know
tampon
like
in.
it's like as a dude just like
See-through.
if you're like your pants are kind of like in the
Yeah.
wrong place and then you go take a piss and then it's all wham like just like this for no reason. You're like cool. Like,
Yeah.
you can like sit
Yeah.
in the toilet and you're like shooting out the freak like I'm pushing it down. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, so nobody's perfect all the time.
Right. It's just
But
one of those
yeah,
like
I
moments
think,
where you're like
I don't know. I think like, I guess if it's opposite sex versus opposite sex, you don't have because you're not them, so you
Right.
don't have like the best unless you ask questions. Like I ask a lot of questions, Sarah asks a lot of questions. Like so we're like not so ignorant in like a whole lot of moments. Also, you raise kids.
Yeah. Yeah. An
You know.
army of them.
Yeah. And
Fuck
so
me.
it's not like
No,
such
Tyler.
an ignorant moment.
right.
But
It's
we're
like
also
learning.
really open about like our own bodies.
Right.
So it's not an ignorant, like a really ignorant moment. But when people are like, "What do you mean, girls?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
If you're not over that
What?
situation when you're like 12 years old as a dude, like, stay in school. That's all I can say. Like,
They
Join
did.
the military.
They did.
Yeah,
They
join
went
the
to.
military.
Don't do that. They went to college and became a bunch of chads. So that's how that's working out.
I don't know how people can like think that's a thing. Like,
That girls don't
general.
poop?
Yeah, like I don't.
I don't know why that's a good parenting technique. I'm not sure
Right. I don't know where that like
how
whole
that
thing came
comes
from. 'Cause
Ladies
the
were supposed to be ladies.
The worst shits
That's
that
not
I've ever seen in my
ladylike.
entire life were
Yep.
from my mom, for sure. Without question, as a kid, they're ingrained.
Oh,
Where you're like,
oh my
this is gross.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like,
I have a nutrition
Drink
program
water.
for that. If she, yeah, please.
yes. That's all I'm saying. Drink
man.
water.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just one of those moments. Like, I don't know where anybody thought that was real ever.
I have a really cool poster I actually just found in one of my books that I have, and it's like as tall as me poster of like the human body, but it's a kid body. And so the kid, we pulled it out. We're like, oh, this is so cool. And the kids are like, what's that? What's this? What's this? And so we're going through the poster and stuff. And they're like, and what are these? And then the intestines and stuff. I was like, that's your small intestine. This is your large intestine. And girls have vaginas and boys have penises, and this is where you poop.
Girls have vagina. Oh, what is it? Boys have penises. Girls have vaginas. In Kindergarten Cop, the little kid. Anybody?
I haven't seen
Anybody
Kindergarten
watch
Cop
that
in, like,
movie?
No.
For a while, dude.
I love Kindergarten Cop.
He
I
like
haven't seen it
Jimmy's all,
forever.
yes, what do you need? And the kid's like,
It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
my dad's a doctor. And he's like, okay. And he's like,
Who is your daddy? What
boys
does he
have
do?
penises. Girls have vaginas. And he's like, okay.
This is a fact.
I
Next.
love
So
that movie
literally,
because
yes.
it like takes Arnold so out of his like element. So out of it. It's
Yeah, I
great.
love
It's
it.
fantastic.
That and twins.
Twins is good.
Twins is
fucking.
really good.
I also love when he's pregnant and fucking.
Oh, we talked about that one.
You were the only person that likes that movie.
I don't like that movie. The one where he's pregnant is not funny at all, in my opinion. Twins is funny. Where him and Danny DeVito are twins, supposedly.
That is really funny.
But like,
it's total opposite.
I can't remember what's the one that he's pregnant in. It's like
we did this last time because it's a title that you wouldn't really.
We actually do talk about this a lot.
We talk about Earl Schwarzenegger
Never
movies
remember
too
it.
often.
We do. This is like the 6th time this has come up in conversation in like a year. It's consistent.
We always forget the name of it.
Pregnant movie. There we go. Junior.
That's yeah.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah. It's also another Danny DeVito movie with him too. Now I think about it. Yeah, he like is pregnant on a new drug. But that's when he was like silly because like Last Action Hero is probably my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and it's so goofy. Have you ever seen that movie? So like.
Really interesting gun.
Yeah. So Last Action Hero is he's a movie star, but like he's in this movie or whatever. It's like this like. Like he's like this like action star, like 80s situation. This kid like goes and watches the movies, but he gets this golden ticket, and then he gets transported into the movie, and then they all come out of it. It's crazy. It's like, and it's hilarious the entire time because it's just one of those movies like that where it tries just hard enough to be like actiony while also being stupid.
Oh,
like most Arnold Schwarzenegger movies,
right?
Because like you look at like Terminator, like they're dumb. They're both of them, like all of them are dumb.
I mean, obviously the movies are fucking stupid. But you do gotta, I mean, you tell me this. You gotta give it to that guy for having the Cinderella story that he actually had.
Oh, totally.
It's insane. So, like, appreciation for, like, the guy's life.
Well, and it's one of those things where he never
Movies,
claimed...
mostly garbage.
He didn't want to be the best actor. He wanted to be the biggest movie star. Which is a very different situation. It's much like The Rock. Not a good actor.
Yeah, but we love him anyway.
But he's a fucking the biggest movie star, period. So it's one of those, like... It's one of those most... We don't... The movie star, being a movie star doesn't mean you're a good actor. How many like people that you name as like good actors that like are huge movie stars, right?
I don't watch movies, so.
You watch way more movies than I do.
God, yeah, that's so true.
But who's like a big star right now that's a good actor?
None.
Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He plays himself in every movie.
That's so true. Well, that's true.
So he's not a good actor.
I don't even know what an actor is.
I think Johnny Depp's good. I think he's a good actor.
Johnny Depp's always been a good actor.
He's always been a great actor.
Kate Winslet
He
is a
kind
really
of
good
plays
actress.
himself though too.
Jim Carrey is a really good actor.
But he's not a huge movie star right now.
Well, that's true.
No.
Okay, you're
Dylan
right. There are
O'Brien.
parameters.
What?
Dylan O'Brien,
Who the
I don't
fuck
even
is
know who
that?
that is.
the kid from Maze Runner.
Then he's not a
Not
big
famous
movie
enough. Yeah, not a movie
Yeah,
star.
he's been in quite a few big ones actually. That
I don't know his name. That's
You don't
not
watch
a big
fucking
movie star.
movies, you
I know
dipshit.
all the goddamn stars still. I
Current
see the
stars?
news. Yeah, I see the news.
Dick's reading E.
Who?
Like big movie stars again. Like I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is out of it now. So again, we got like The Rock is obviously. Actually, I don't even fucking know to be perfectly honest.
Exactly.
So that was 5 years ago. So
I mean,
Okay,
Gal
well,
Gadot's
good
a big movie
example.
star right now.
Kim Kardashian could go back and go into another movie and be a huge movie star, but not a good actor. 'Cause
Definitely
she's not,
not.
and we know that she's not because she's been in a movie and she's been in a music video, right?
Yeah,
She
but
was in.
I wouldn't put her as like
one-
a movie star. She's just one of those famous people.
But
who's
she
famous.
could be a movie star, but she's like famous because she's
Right.
famous. But she could be a movie star because she's famous.
Like
because
Chris
she's
Pratt's
famous.
pretty big. He's actually pretty decent as an actor too. Now that I think about
He's a
it,
good actor.
I'd put him in that realm of like pretty big movie star right now. Chris Evans, I would put as like pretty, but he kind of plays the same character over and over. Except for like in Snowpiercer, I really love that movie. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
that movie.
that's a
Literally,
different
I've
role for
never
him.
watched any of it.
Snowpiercer
But
is
you know, he usually typically plays that good old patriot.
kind
type
of
of
like he's
person.
always like that raw guy. Snowpiercer is this movie. It's actually based on a book.
About a train.
So they're on a train in like a dystopian future where like we go into nuclear war and nuclear winter happens. And this
Okay.
train has this group of this like class system and all this shit.
Straight up.
And it's written and directed by this Korean guy who's really big. And then it's an amazing movie. It's weird as fuck, but it's amazing.
Sounds great.
I would
like
definitely put it
watch
on the watch list. To be honest, I would.
I just don't think I'm ever gonna remember that. So.
You don't listen to me anyways. It's fine.
I do listen to it. I never put in like movies into my queue. Like I know the TV shows that I watch to keep up on, but like movies, I'm like, they're just like not my thing.
Right.
They never really been my thing. I don't really. Unless if Wes Anderson came out with a new movie, I'd be
Leonardo
like,
DiCaprio, I would say is a big movie star. That's a good actor as well, but he also kind of plays similar roles. He's not very, different, and that's kind of part of the problem with Hollywood in general is that they put
Rosario Dawson.
ooh, that is a good
Yeah,
one.
that's a
But
good
she's
one,
not
too.
a big movie star right now. But like she is
she's still
a
pretty
really
big.
good actress.
She's
She
big
was in
enough,
Kids?
She's big enough that people know her name.
She was in Kids.
So
like
I'd put her on.
God, that girl was in like so much shit. But when she was in Kids, that was really where like the jumping off point was for her.
I don't. That was not the jumping off point for her.
She did really well in that movie.
I agree.
That's a
Like,
cult classic. And
Right.
She killed it. It's not my fault that people don't watch Kids. Everybody should be required to watch Kids.
I don't know if that's the case for that movie. I love that movie, but I don't think it's. Have you ever seen Kids?
Nope.
Just sitting.
Kids would have came out like a year after you were born.
It is devastating.
It is a
Very.
rough. Yeah,
Who else are you expecting?
Scott.
that's a Scotty D.
Scott and Baru.
Her friendship with
I
Kevin
thought I
Smith
saw
helped a lot.
Dog Bowl up there.
So you can put Kevin Smith as like a pretty big time. Like, I mean, he's more director than he is movie star, anyways.
I still want to watch
Here
The
he
Crew. That looks
comes.
funny. The Crew is his new sitcom on, I think it's Hulu, maybe Netflix, one of the two. But he plays a pit crew manager.
He just has the contact.
Oh yeah.
But his whole crew is a bunch of millennial dipshits. So he's got to kind of deal with that.
Is it good? Have you watched it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
It's on my
watched
watch
it either.
list. It looks funny though, and it sounded really good.
I hope it's funny.
Should be. I mean, almost all of Kevin Smith's movies are super funny, except for Red State. So Red State's brutal. Have you seen that movie? It's John Goodman's in it. Who else is in it? But like, it's his like dark like movie. It's like about this like cult that like kills like their kids and shit, and like it's wild. That's a wild movie.
One is Kevin Smith.
The Crew.
Yes.
There's somebody else that's in the Crew.
State is nuts.
Yeah, The Crew is Kevin Smith. Yeah.
No, that's not Kevin Smith.
Walrus.
Yeah, it is. Oh no, it's Kevin James.
No.
It's Kevin.
It's Kevin James.
Yeah, it's Kevin James.
Oh
Different.
yeah.
Kevin James.
That's
are
a
two-
completely different person.
he's like two fat guys. And Kevin Smith's not even fat
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, completely different person.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that was not him, but
Kevin James.
it's Kevin
Mama.
James.
It's the guy that plays the monk in like season Hitch.
He's
Okay, yeah,
Voldemort.
different.
I was like, I don't think he's part of that movie. It doesn't sound like his TV show. I didn't think that was like the case, but
You're right.
we're both named Kevin. They're both white guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They all look the same to me, so.
So,
When Kevin Smith was still fat, I'd be okay with that like reference. But Kevin Smith's not fat no more.
I don't
He had a
know
heart
who
attack
that
at like
is.
41, and like had to have like open heart surgery and all this shit. Like he almost like it was bad.
We're all edging towards it, so I wouldn't knock it.
No, he was fat. He was like hockey shirts were the only thing he wore. So
that's a lot.
yeah.
A lot of fat for a kid.
Yeah. What time is it?
Well, I'll say whenever you're ready, I'm ready to partake in other activities that I don't want to do on camera. So.
Okay. We've been going for over 3 hours anyway, so
Drugs. Yeah.
we can cut it.
It was like, yeah, I was like, I was just kidding, but like, yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Well, Tyler, you have fun. I think you're not the only person watching.
Later, guys.
you, man.
Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Next week's gonna be special too, so be here.